lot of effort in women. So there is no one size, but if West Bengal there's any story, it's Muslim plus Mahila gives Mamata Banerjee a kind of 40% vote.
But think of it, I think it's a much more complicated explanation.
Go ahead.
What seems to be happening.
This is the academic, go.
In West Bengal, that BJP's vote share from Lok Sabha has come down. And Congress and left seem to be holding up and or have got 1 or 2 percentage point more, which means that if Muslim consolidation has happened in favor of Trinamool, then there is a fragmentation of Hindu vote and especially the tribal and Dalit vote that was backing BJP in the last election. And this adds to much more of the economic anxiety sort of.
Exactly. That's a rural heartland as well, part of an extended rural heartland. Exactly. So you will see challenges.
Okay, so in Thiruvananthapuram, Rajiv Chandrasekhar at 1,47,312 votes leads over Shashi Tharoor of the Congress at 1,31,000. And the reason that's happening is because Panyan Ravindran of the CPI has pulled away 1 lakh plus votes. So in a three-corner triangular fight, Shashi Tharoor now trailing to Rajiv Chandrasekhar by about 16,000 votes. That's a big one to look at very carefully. From here, we want to go, for example, we want to look at Jharkhand and take you through the numbers for Jharkhand. On the 14 seats of Jharkhand, where again, assembly elections are due virtually in a few weeks from now, the India Alliance is at 4, up 2 from the last time. 2 of these are JMM, 2 are Congress. The BJP is at 10, down, the NDA is at 10. So, no, but it says, so it's at 10. So, AJSU is 0 and BJP is 9. That's at 10, so it's down 2. From here, let's now just for a moment go to Rajasthan, because one of the most significant stories of this election has been written on the 25 seats of Rajasthan, where for the first time in a direct BJP-Congress battle, the Congress is almost toe-to-toe in a state where they lost the assembly elections badly. It shows you the fickle nature of Indian politics and how fast things can change on the ground. Never take anything for granted. Don't think you can do whatever you want without caring for the Indian voter.
And that also reflects like what happens to the regional satraps like Vasundhara Raje or Shivraj when they were removed. Rather
it has an impact.
It has an impact because they will not be able to pull their weights.
So now you've got
not
Congress
all calculations
leading
work
at
well
10.
for you.
Up 9 from the last time. The BJP is at 14, down 10. Vasundhara Raje, when she's looking at this, would be saying, you know, you took me lightly, didn't treat me well, serves you guys right. The BJP is, if I show you the leads for the Congress, 10 is, people thought 2, 3, 4, 5. The Congress currently leading in Barmed, Bharatpur, Churu, Dosa, Ganganagar, Jhunjhunu, Karauli, Nagaur, Sikar, and in Tong Savai Madhya.
Rahul, the man who's leading in Churu is Vasundhara Raje's man.
Rahul
Kaswa, who went from the BJP to the Congress, is Vasundhara's close
aid. And she brought in a very delicate balancing act between Jats on one side and, Jats on the one side. That is missing right 100%.
now. And someone who is from UP, again, going to the ground, has given me an interesting angle to what she thinks has been happening in there. She said, don't forget the Rajput factor.
Yeah.
This was a community which after Purushottam Rupala's comments, those comments spread like wildfire across Rajasthan into parts of Uttar Pradesh. They had to hold sabhas to try and minimize the damage.
The reason why in Saharanpur, Muzaffarnagar, there are 2 seats. The reason why possibly the Congress in Saharanpur and the SP in Muzaffarnagar is leading, a lot of that also has to do with the Thakur vote. In the constituencies of Muzaffarnagar, the Thakur vote hasn't come in into kind of the strength it had to. And we saw it in both Saharanpur.
Especially when you are in such a tight election, each of these small Kshatriya vote here and there can actually start creating impact. Otherwise, this could have been a very normal affair.
Sardana was this one constituency, Sangeet Soms, where that entire clash was happening. And if you looked at the voting percentage, it was less than 50%. Right. So it's not that they voted for Samajwadi Party, they just didn't vote.
Okay, Preeti, the news point is that the Congress will reach out to Chandrababu Naidu, and the one person who could actually... No, man. TDP's information. The person who could actually do the dealing could be his erstwhile colleague, Revanth Reddy.
Do they have a good relationship?
Yes, huge, very good relationship.
Very good relationship?
Very good.
Exceptionally good relationship. Despite the fact that he left the TDP.
Okay, can we do some fun? I have an idea. Okay, so we can do this on the...
He was also helping him, resources-wise and everything.
On the tug of war, I can hypothetically...
Can you give me the BJP numbers therefore?
No, I can do something more fun.
Because the Congress has no stake in Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah, fair enough.
On paper.
So what we can do is we can play a game. Okay, while we're waiting for these numbers to come, we can play a game. Listen, we have no skin in the game. No matter who wins, we only get galis. Okay, so just bear with me and we'll play this out. I'm not sure this is happening. We don't even know if Chandrababu Naidu will switch. But if they do, we can try and see what happens. So basically, TDP has 16. TDP has 16. If you take them there, it becomes 352. If you take TDP to the India Alliance, it goes to 252. Could there be a twist in the tail? If you take JDU also, now if Nitish Kumar somehow is angry that meeting didn't go well.
This is the irony. He was there yesterday saving his chair.
262 plus 14 then becomes 276.
And today he's a kingmaker.
What is it?
Now he'll get another
I'm
chair.
saying if
let Rahul explain this, yes.
Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, remember guys, we're still waiting for the numbers.
How much are they?
No, so then it becomes 276. So
Chandrababu is how much?
Chandrababu is 16, Nitish Kumar is 14, that's 30.
30.
Add 30 plus 236, 266.
RLD 2.
Who?
RLD 2.
No, you've got these independents.
Yeah,
Listen,
independent. I'm just
the
giving you
BJP is
two
coming
extra.
back to power. Don't let nobody get carried
I
away.
can't see the BJP not coming back to power. I cannot see Prime Minister Modi not becoming
Not
Prime
becoming the
Minister.
PM.
But I think what you have now is that you will have to work with these allies. It's clear, and the big difference between 2014, 19 and 24 is this. The BJP government that now comes to power will have to accommodate allies, will have to accommodate parliament. You see, you will have, you know how India is now. Imagine 30 Samajwadi Party MPs every day, 30 Trinamool Congress MPs every day, and a 95 strong Congress.
No, point taken, Rajdeep, but I think the Congress will not make the mistake that Digvijay Singh made in Goa at one point in time.
Oh yeah.
They would want to make their moves.
They're gonna-
You
they're
will
gonna
try.
go all out.
This is the time when it is
They'll
happening.
go all
No,
out.
but
You
the
are
difference
telling
was,
me with these are the
sir,
numbers.
the difference was that time they were the larger party.
Sorry?
What's
Yeah,
the harm
that
in
Rahul
not
has a
in trying?
No,
Why
last
would
time,
the vote
they had 18 seats. They had more seats than the BJP.
Honestly speaking, the BJP
Now
is
the
the single
BJP
largest party. It will be called to form the
Yeah, the
government.
president will call them.
Yeah, the president. I mean, that's how the norms are.
That's right.
The single largest party will be called, and
But
once
you
Prime
will have-
Minister is called,
you will have,
I don't
therefore-
see any challenge to BJP. I don't
I
see
agree
any
with
threat.
you. I don't see a challenge to that. But what I do see is a strong opposition. I see institutions therefore pushing back in a way that you haven't seen before, including the media, hopefully. And you will see that. Because you will not, they will, remember what happened in the last term. There were the farm laws rammed through. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
This has changed the nature of politics. Single election, this all talk, one nation, one election is gone out of the window. Uniform civil code.
UCC is back on the discussion
What
board,
happened?
yeah.
2/3. You won't have, because you won't have 2/3 now. That's very clear. And when the next Rajya Sabha round takes place, the opposition will have a large number of its MPs.
Rajdeep,
That's the change.
Rajdeep, one small question. I mean, all along we were thinking it's a Tina factor, there is no alternative. But let's assume, I mean, hypothetically speaking, could there be a situation where we could have Nita, as in Nitin is alternative, or Rita, Rajnath is alternative?
But you see, why would I have gone into this election with under Prime Minister Modi? Modi ki guarantee. Let's be fair. This election has been fought under Prime Minister Modi. He has every right to return. And therefore, I expect him to complete this Nitin Gadkari,
Listen.
Rajnath Singh, I'll tell you when that would happen. If 289 goes below 272, or if the BJP on its own goes below 240. If the BJP on its own goes below 240, which is a possibility,
237 right now.
237. You see, at below 240, you need all these allies with you.
Yes.
Then there may be the odd ally who will say, would you like to think of someone else? That is possible. It's happened. Indian politics, there are lots of people wanting more and more power.
If it had been a 400 par kind of government, then Indian politics would have been very predictable and boring for the next 5 years. This is anything but boring. It's a very interesting verdict that's been
thrown
thrown
out. A lot of
out.
politics is happening right now. All the phone calls that you couldn't imagine a day, 24 hours back, those phone calls are happening as we speak.
And remember, the BJP now cannot take the TDP for granted. They cannot take Nitish Kumar for granted. They can't even take Chirag Paswan for granted. They can't take Eknath Shinde for granted. They can't even take Kumaraswamy for granted. They can't take Ajit Singh's Jayant Chaudhary for granted. They can't even take Pawan Kalyan. Kisi ko bhi granted nahi le sakte.
No, you see, the only way you have to offer prime ministership. Suppose you offer Chandrababu or Nitish Kumar prime ministership.
नहीं, वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा वो।
Nitish Kumar is
Now,
always had to
Rajdeep,
submission.
you're getting carried away now. Rajdeep is finding some jugaad.
Sir, this is a country where Chandrasekhar was propped up.
नहीं, but he's not that young right now to be able to hold on to his 15. अभी ज़्यादा करेगा तो फिर वो भी तो possibility है.
Sir, you're right. I'm only throwing up hypothetical
fair enough,
situations.
fair enough. Absolutely
I said very clearly, I believe it will be a BJP-led, Modi-led government.
Okay.
But what is very clear now is options and alternatives emerge for these allies of a kind that were not there for the last 10
What
years.
also emerges is that the nation is hooked onto our coverage. as could not have been imagined
तुमने कोई
otherwise.
YouTube figure आज दिया नहीं
नहीं,
normally
आपको
Rahul?
दिया है सर, दिया है, आ गया.
कोई contest ही नहीं है. You know, like for example, there is a battle on, at least as far as viewership is concerned, there is no contest. The election intelligence dashboard in India Today's coverage is sweeping the stakes. Here are the seats that now seem settled. It's interesting that in the seats where the margin is more than 1 lakh, the NDA has 79, up 4 from the last time. The India Alliance at 24. So these are seats which are now settled, game, set and match on these seats for these alliances. I now look at seats where the margin is more than 50,000. These two are seats where the end result is now not going to change. 141 of those for the NDA, 67 for the India Alliance. The NDA is 1 up. So these are big wins. Big wins coming from Gujarat, big wins coming from Madhya Pradesh, big wins coming from Rajasthan, big wins coming from Western UP, big wins coming from Himachal. These are seats that are settled. Let's now look at seats where the margin is more than 25,000. These seats too, ladies and gentlemen, to my mind, are seats where it's now very difficult. If the margin is more than 25, the direction is set, so it's very difficult for this to change. The NDA leading on 197 such seats, 114 for the India Alliance, up 42 from the last time. The Congress is 51. Now,
breaking news, a left leader, senior left leader has just rung up Chandrababu Naidu to congratulate him and said that you can be the future of this country.
PM Banjao.
He has not used the word PM. He has said, I congratulate you on your week. You can be the future
Sudhir,
of
you
this
should
country.
know this. If Chandrababu Naidu is given the option, okay, we can pull out Andhra Pradesh and show you what's happening there. If he's given the option that these are 25 seats of Andhra Pradesh, on these seats, Naidu, NDA has 21 because 16 are TDP. You come with these 16, join the India Alliance. Will he bite? They say, okay, you become PM.
If the PM post is open,
They'll make it available. They have nothing to lose.
if the PM post is open, I think from both sides, I think he would be believed.
नहीं, but it's not that easy because इतनी खिचड़ी सरकार के PM बनना, how long will he last? He lasts for like barely 2 months, 3 months.
No.
See, that scenario,
let's not underestimate his political acumen.
Fair enough. I'm giving in. Therefore, we are discussing and deliberating him being a PM. But
Does he have
the
that
India
ambition?
Alliance.
I come back to the ambition.
Why not? Why not? I mean, his father-in-law had that ambition, so would Chandrababu
NTR, the
Naidu.
great NTR
And
certainly
Naidu
has
is
that
now
ambition.
74. I mean, he would think this is his chance to end his innings on a hooray. And Nara
is what
Lokesh is
Nitish-
there.
I know he's always believed. He told me this in the interview also, off record. I set the trend, whether it was digital India, whether it was smart cities, I set the trend.
Correct.
Others have only copied me.
Which is correct to a large extent.
It is correct to a large extent. Sudhir knows those days well when every leader would land up in Hyderabad first, Bill Clinton onwards. They'd first pay a visit to the entrepreneurs, as they were called. Dekho, ye public hai kya amazing hai. When I went to Andhra Pradesh, they felt left out, that they were no longer relevant in national politics. Guess
For
what?
10 years.
All all
so-
my gadus there.
Exactly,
All
Rajdeep.
the Baru gadus, everyone
For
there.
10 years,
Garus.
10 years, Telugu-speaking politicians were out of the power
That's right.
equation.
Now
They
they're
were
going to be back.
completely high and dry, left aside,
so
deal with
where
their
is
own
this
affairs.
election still hot? How many seats are still up for grabs? Let's look at that for a moment now. 86 seats where the margin is less than 10,000. So no matter which side of the equation you're on, there are 86 seats at this moment where the margin between the party that's number 1 and number 2 is less than 10,000 votes. The India Alliance has 50 of these, which means that these are leads which are slippery. 28 up from the last time. NDA is on 33. So the seats where the trend seems well established, those seats are largely NDA seats. Seats where the battle is still tight, there the India Alliance has a disproportionate advantage, 50, which means their leads are still slender.
That's right.
Slender
So the India Alliance, therefore, is also more vulnerable.
Slender leads.
More vulnerable than the NDA. Just one thing, just getting from an ODI channel, and therefore you can... At the moment, according to them, it's not a done deal. BJD is very much back in the assembly. In fact, they are saying the Congress could be the kingmaker.
Okay.
As of now...
So let's go to Odisha, Rajdeep. 147.
Assembly.
147 seats in Odisha. 57 are for the BJD, down 56 from the last time. 75 for the BJP, up 52 from the last time. Congress at 12, up 3 from the last time.
Changed a little bit.
So these numbers may well be changing
Yeah, they
soon.
have changed
Local
already.
channels are saying 60 for the BJP, 13 for the Congress. So that makes, and BJP at 71. So it's a very tough fight there in Odisha. So
No, but what-
and it's amazing because if you look at Lok Sabha, it's a complete sweep to the BJP. So that same voter, I mean, it is, ये क्या country है? संबलपुर का कोई गरीब बैठा हुआ है अपनी कुटिया में and decided मुझे शंख चाहिए for भुवनेश्वर और मुझे कमल चाहिए for दिल्ली. अरे public है, जनार्दन, जनता
And they might as
जनार्दन.
well
Do
be
good.
deciding who the prime minister would be eventually in Delhi.
Yeah, you know, Odisha could also have a role.
yes.
Odisha could also have a role with two.
Oh, if BJD, now that's a good theory you've given, because if the BJD were to feel really irritated, they could go to the India Alliance. But how many Lok Sabha seats do they have? Before that, let me show you Andhra Pradesh. 175 seats. Chandrababu Naidu, which is why even in that graphic that we have, he's smiling so big. 130 out of 175. It swung one way the last time.
Contested 144, so its strike rate is brilliant.
Phenomenal. YSRCP down to 18, down 133. The Indian public can take you sky high, bring you crashing down. It can switch very, very quickly. That's Andhra Pradesh. Let's now go back to the parliament and take a look at what's happening in Odisha. In Odisha, if we actually get down, can things change? It's just fun and games in the studio right now, but these are political games that are being played in the real world and efforts being made to see what can happen. See, this is quite phenomenal. Big gains for the BJP coming from Odisha. 11 seats up from the last time. BJD is 11 seats down from the last time in the Lok Sabha elections. It's really Uttar Pradesh which messed things up for the BJP. 36 leads. Forget 70, 80. There were those in the BJP who say 80 आएंगी, 70 तो आनी ही है. They're down to 36, down 28 seats from the last time. India Alliance is 7 seats above the NDA, 35 for the SP, 36 for the NDA, Congress at 8. In fact, if I look at a seat-by-seat breakup, SP has one more seat than the BJP. Akhilesh Yadav is one of the big heroes of this election. Chandrababu Naidu, big hero.
Yes.
Akhilesh Yadav, big hero. And then
Sharad Pawar in his own small way.
Mamata Banerjee.
Mamata Banerjee. So lots of, you see, it's normally last two elections, it's all been about Prime Minister Modi. This time you have state-level leaders who are spreading their wings out, who are also showing that they're doing. Odisha, the BJP's campaign in Odisha, Dharmendra Pradhan and others.
You need to also give it to Sharad Pawar. See, he did, numbers are one thing, but he held on to this
He's kept the alliance going together.
It's just unbelievable. He was the principal architect of this.
And what an election. You know, you went, Rahul, to Baramulla. Think about it. Voters should know. You mentioned Amritpal Singh. Engineer Rashid is leading in jail, arrested, and I know, I mean, people may have differences about Engineer Rashid's politics, but he's a fine man. And his son alone did the campaign. Guess what? At the moment, he is leading.
No, and Omar Abdullah is doing quite badly. Huh? Just 79,741.
This is a vote against, please understand.
Chief Minister, actually.
Sir, Engineer Rashid is a vote for the, the government must also take note. The manner in which people were arrested under the Public Safety Act, it's one thing to abrogate Article 370. But when you arrest someone like Engineer Rashid, people are hearing, public ki awaaz suniye. Netas are being told that, including those at the very top in this country. Another such, a result like this is coming from Boshirhat. Remember Sandesh Khali dominated the headlines. Trinamool is winning big in Boshirhat where Sandesh Khali is.
That is an unfortunate result. I mean, if you on one side look at Prajwana's thing and here you Sandesh Khali, you can't have a flip argument.
Sir, the Shah Jahan Sheikh by all is a land grabber and therefore deserves to be. But there was also
you need to give the women victims benefit of doubt there. You can't be saying that 2,000 rupees li aur badal diya unhone apna.
There are two stories coming out. All I'm saying that.
This two-story theory can have to, then that has to be put in till everywhere, even for Prajwal Revanna, till the courts do not stamp in. He's still accused at best.
I'm not going to dispute with you. I think till the court comes out with a verdict on Shah Jahan Sheikh, we should hold our
There are days when things go your way, if this is cricket. And there are things, and I very firmly think that there's lots of similarities between cricket and politics. There are days when, those balls which otherwise take an edge and go to the boundary, sometimes that doesn't happen and they go. It's just like BJP is having a bad day. Because remember, they were at 243. From that, the BJP is now fallen 6 to 237. So the BJP's individual ask to get to 273, which is the magical figure, is becoming tougher.
We have a Congress guest waiting. Suddenly, congressmen and women are coming. JB Mathur is their Rajya Sabha MP. She's joining me, very articulate. JB Mathur, are we looking at the possibility at all of you trying to form a government? These are still, these are not final trends. The BJP is still, NDA is still 17 above the halfway mark. But there is talk of Sitaram Yechuri possibly reaching out to Chandrababu Naidu. And there is talk of even Nitish Kumar being wooed. Is that possible, or do you concede that the government will be a BJP government?
Rajdeep, politics is the game of possibilities. And in this scenario, there's a lot of game that can happen. And let me also assertively say this is a moral victory of India Bloc and a moral defeat for NDA and Prime Minister himself. Because there was so much of hype about 400 par, and also even including your channel, we were disappointed that even India today showed 401 for the NDA to come back. I mean, so nowhere to exit poll. Exit poll is totally different from the exact poll is the reality. Now the possibilities, let's wait, because there are a lot of seats where there's still, we are hopeful, where the margin is still less. So a lot more to happen, expect. But this is the true spirit of democracy, and there is no space for hatred and the kind of divisive politics the BJP and Prime Minister himself. I mean, the level to which he has stooped, it is a fact that India has not taken it.
Below 240. Yeah, but ma'am, I just want to understand, you're still well behind the BJP. You're leading at the moment in about 90 odd seats. Is there a sense that this is the Congress, it's a glass half full, but your glass is also half empty? The BJP on the other hand is 237. So the gap is big still between the BJP and the Congress.
Well, that I agree. But still, the fact remains what was told. BJP said 400 par and we said 295. We did not say 400. So from what we said, we are sticking on. The game is still going on, and we are hopeful. And there's a lot more of things to come out. And certainly, at least for once, you agree that this is not a Modi thing anymore in our country.
That clearly is a message that's coming out. The fact is that this whole Modi factor, and it's been a big factor in this election. Rajat, would you concede that Modi ki guarantee? This election was fought under one man, single agenda. Forget all the other candidates. It was fought under Prime Minister Modi's name. To that extent, these numbers, if they are 60, 70 less than 303 that they got last time, clearly somewhere is a message.
Well, the flip interpretation could be that had Modi's name not been there, BJP would have been same way as where Congress is. Because, it is still his credibility which could have pulled them to a level where, at least ECI side says that NDA has 300 seats right now where they're leading. So see, Modi is the biggest competitor to Modi. We have been so used to this total domination of Prime Minister Modi for 10 years that this new reality where BJP is less on the majority number and NDA looking still at 300, which otherwise would have been a fabulous news. Here we are still whining about this sort of a number.
We are getting news. Prime Minister Modi has spoken to Chandrababu Naidu. So while the left may be trying to contact it, the Prime Minister, who is a pre-poll ally of Chandrababu Naidu, has spoken to Chandrababu Naidu and has been assured, we are told, of Babu's support. So we expect Chandrababu Naidu to pitch his support in with the BJP, with which he fought the election in this Mahakutumi.
So all wishful thinking aside, Rajdeep, I still believe since BJP is the single largest party, they would be called in to prove a majority. And once Prime Minister Modi is back into his groove as the new Prime Minister, you will see he will be able to pull all the strings to ensure that you have the Chandrababu Naidus, you have the Nitish Kumar in a different equation. I'm sure
so
they will extract
a different style of governance?
Certainly. I mean, the Prime Minister will. He's so nimble. This is where his nimbleness would be tested also.
That's right. This is the first time he'll have to deal with coalition politics.
This is the first time. I mean, in 20 years.
Prime Minister Modi is used to.
For 20
he's
years.
Never had to deal
But he's
with
flexible.
allies.
I will say this about Prime Minister Modi. Never underestimate Prime Minister Modi at times like this. He will show you that he can also work with allies. जब पप्पी देनी है, जब झप्पी देनी है, झप्पी दे देगा. अब दे देगा, why not?
He will come back for sure in the evening to address the Karyakartas the way he has been doing, and he will exude confidence to an extent. I'm telling you, I don't see him changing his style that much. He would be much more humble in his approach.
Subdued. Let's be honest.
Little bit subdued.
Below 272, you can't do balle all the way.
But he will not even leave that plank wherein your body language starts showing. See, you are giving cricket analogy, but on the ground, if your body language droops first, you are bound to lose that match.
But
and this match is not lost.
Put this in context. He's a 10-year sitting Prime Minister. After that, for the BJP to come to the kind of tally that it has is no mean feat. Make no mistake, it's just that sometimes you get carried away by all the hype and the hoopla. 237 leads for the Bharatiya Janata Party at this moment. The NDA is comfortably placed. Just rewind 10 years and imagine if someone had said that you'd have 237 after 10 years of being in power. This is a very historic feat by itself. It's nowhere close to the chakkas and chokkas they were thinking about. So it's not gone the way they wanted. But by itself, once the dust settles, once Rajdeep's had his say, he's done his dance and jig, the fact is it's a very strong position. Huh?
We are not dancing. Yeah, we are not dancing
When there's no
today.
dance, my kids are very happy. They said, please don't dance and expose your limitations as a dancer. But Thiruvananthapuram is turning out to be the kind of
Thrissur
constituency.
BJP has won. That's one.
Yeah, so
that's one of the major
have they won
good
as
news
yet, or they're leading at the
First-
moment?
No, I think they have won. It has been announced.
Declared?
Okay. No, I'm not sure it's been declared yet, because I'm not sure any
we
seats
have to
have been
take hot
declared.
seat, Rajdeep.
But we can look at Thrissur and Thiruvananthapuram.
So I'll take Thiruvananthapuram. 1,50,000 for Rajiv Chandrasekhar in our calculation, 1,33,000 for Shashi Tharoor. Pannian Ravindran
Because
of the CPI
Dr.
is
Tharoor has just sent me a message. I'm leading by 192 votes now.
Woo!
192.
So
He's
as I
claiming he's
said,
leading
in
by
case you're
192.
wondering why a candidate has information which is faster than ours, is because he and his people are sitting at the counting centers. By the time it comes into the data net servers, by the time it comes into our system, it takes a bit of a lag. So it'll show up very quickly. But any candidate can obviously say, I'm a little ahead. That's because that's a centralized processing system. The critical thing here is how many seats are currently in contest? What can change? This is going to be a long afternoon. If I look at the seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes, if I look at the margin at this moment in the national tally, 80 seats, where the other interesting thing, Rajdeep, is the EC calculations are now moving slower. It's not changing quite as much.
Just tweeted right now
Yes, slow
saying that
QB,
why
why didn't
has it slowed? And are you getting
slow?
instructions? See, this is the mistrust you can't have on our institutions. I mean, you go on and on and on. At least have the humility right
But
now.
nothing
to
is
have-
changing
But the
also.
mistrust is not just political.
No,
As I
there
said
could
this
be-
morning, CSDS survey said only 28% of Indians think of the EC as neutral anymore. And that's worrying. So I think the opposition
but
has to
that
be...
is propaganda, right?
The opposition I can understand, but people, then that's worrying, right? Opposition will try and do whatever they can because they believe that don't trust any
No,
institution.
but that is the vote share of the opposition party in
hopefully
any way.
that
So
will
they'll
change.
continue to say.
Oh, but
Okay.
can we
So
get
let's
Thrissur? Can we
No,
get Thrissur in Kerala?
I'll show you
because
Thrissur.
it could be history. The
Of-
first ever seat that the BJP would
yeah.
have won in Kerala.
In the larger national picture, there are 80 seats where the ball is up in the air, where we cannot say who will win or lose for sure.
By the way, there's a terrific story going on also in inner Manipur. Remember, this was hit by violence. And there are surveys right, because Professor Bimal Akyojam, the Congress candidate, is leading in inner Manipur, which was an area where, remember, some of the worst violence took place. So there, in a seat which you would have expected the BJP to win, it is Mr. Professor Akyojam who's leading.
You know, I remember when, the Manipur's unrest was unraveling and, I had moved out of the state in 2022. There were a couple of professors, both Meitei professors based out of JNU. They were the first ones who started presenting the Meitei perspective other than the Kuki perspective, which was already getting a lot of media attention. It was from there that Professor Bimal Akyojam called me to JNU and we were having all these deliberations, what should be the future of Manipur. And lo and behold, Congress did not find any, candidate within the state itself, and they had to para-drop a JNU professor, take them there, and good for him, he's winning.
So that's a big one. The other big one, two sitting chief minister, former chief minister Jammu and Kashmir trailing, both Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti.
Okay, so those are images from Rahul Gandhi's residence. He and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra have just left. We'll see a different, Rahul, we'll see a different Congress party also.
Chola bhaturas have come good.
No, and with good reason. For a long time, they were written off.
Shabianas and
The
the
BJP's propaganda was such that these are useless nincompoops, that they're not capable of doing the job. I think the people of India have spoken otherwise. And that's something that everyone will need to respect. Okay.
No, but think about it, even Ayodhya, Faizabad, BJP is trailing. Now all the hype over Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, 5 months later, in the constituency where the Ram Mandir has been built, Now, what is the explanation? You know, the voter has his own way of seeing what he's happy with the Ram Mandir, but he's not voting on the Ram Mandir.
The explanation is you had a candidate who had a lot of anti-incumbency. Lallu Singh had won from only 65,000 votes the last time. You got your caste calculation right. And with the anti-incumbency, it all came together.
But Preeti, that shows how the election at one level got localized.
Of course.
You see, you look for a national narrative, and we all went looking for a national narrative.
This is an election where at least the opposition has been able to bring it down to a 543-seat election.
Absolutely.
A seat-by-seat election.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Rahul, you wanted to show
I want to
us
spend some time trying to explain to people what has changed. Remember, these are priceless insights you cannot find anywhere. It's not nobody's opinion. This is not pontification. This is based on data. Now, if you look at the losses of the NDA, they've lost in different categories of seats. But where have the biggest losses come from? The biggest losses have come on seats which are classified as Dalit-dominated seats. 37 such losses on seats where Dalits are in a substantial position to be able to influence the verdict. 37 such losses are coming to the BJP. They've lost some everywhere. They've lost a few tribal seats, they've lost a few OBC seats, but the move away from the BJP of Dalit votes is one of the significant takeaways from this election. It is big news. Make no mistake, this
changes everything that BJP was standing upon. See, they thought that the Hindutva politics is consolidating and not allowing it to become a Swiss cheese, wherein you have small pockets voting for you within the Hindutva umbrella. If that project fails, a lot of projects will fail for the BJP.
Okay, now if I look at the tribal-dominated seats, now out of the 68 tribal-dominated seats, the NDA is in 46, which means it's just lost a little bit of ground on the tribal-dominated seats. So no major loss. Just stay with me. These few minutes will explain to you what has happened in this election. Very marginal losses for the BJP in the tribal-dominated seats. If I come to the general category seats, in the general category seats again, very small losses. 86, 12 down, India Alliance at 48, 29 up, but they've largely held on. Relatively speaking, they've largely held on. From there, let me now come to the OBC seats. In the OBC seats, again, the NDA largely holding on, 192 down just 2. On the OBC dominated seats, down just 2. So in 3 categories of seats, on the tribal seats, on the general seats and OBC seats, the NDA is barely losing. If I come to the Muslim dominated seats, here the NDA is down from 50 to 41, that's 9 down. The India Alliance is 51 to 14. Again, some change but not very significant. The biggest change, ladies and gentlemen, and these are insights that I can pull out only from the election intelligence dashboard being pulled out for you in real time. The story of this election, the switch of Dalit votes away from the NDA alliance in the previous election to the India alliance. 34 seats down the NDA on Dalit-dominated seats, 156 seats where different Dalit communities are in a position taken together to influence the verdict. The BJP leading only on 47. India Alliance on 93, 37 of those for the Congress, 20 for the Samajwadi Party. Remember, in a state like Uttar Pradesh, the moment you've got the Yadavs and the Muslims significant enough by themselves, add to that the Dalit vote bank. That, Rajdeep, is the story of Uttar Pradesh and how it's turned and why.
You know, Uttar Pradesh is clearly among the various state stories, and there are lots of state stories here, from Maharashtra to Odisha to Bengal. The story that is standing out is Uttar Pradesh, because over the last decade, the BJP has been totally dominant. And you would have thought that with a powerful chief minister like Yogi Adityanath and a powerful prime minister like Narendra Modi contesting himself from Varanasi, that double engine would be overwhelming the opposition. I mean, the opposition today deserves credit for having run a superb campaign in UP. By the way, important, BJP has reached 300. Rajat reminding me again, NDA has reached 300. Out of that, if you can tell us how much the BJP is, Rahul, that would also be useful. But at the moment, the BJP the NDA has reached 300, and 300 is psychologically important because it then gives you a buffer over 272.
So 245 now. They'd come down to as low as 237. From 237, they've gone up to 245, 8 up from their low point. Janata Dal United at 15, Apna Dal at 1, NDA hitting that psychologically significant 300 mark, giving NDA supporters some room to breathe. This is an exciting election. 225 leads for the India Alliance, out of which...
For me, the psychologically important mark for BJP is 240. Because if you
97,
look at,
the
if you go
Congress
below
would hope that
240,
they hit double
then you're
digits,
32
triple
below
digits.
and you need 2 allies.
Rajdeep,
2 big allies to be with you.
Congress is 3 seats away from that psychologically significant triple
What is clear, I think we can say this with some confidence, presumably Rahul Verma, BJP is unlikely to get a majority on its own. 272 at the moment seems a little bit far away.
Yes, now it looks very difficult, especially now we are like it's almost 130. The chances of BJP crossing 275 mark has become very difficult. What I would rather add to your point, Rajdeep, that I think BJP would be hoping to get 260 because 260 allows them to sort of like play with 1 or 2 allies.
Then you're comfortable. Then the allies are more dependent on you. At 240, you become more dependent on the allies, and that's important. So I think if the BJP remains above 240, they'll feel a little bit more, or certainly above 250, let's say, they'll feel a little bit more secure. If they slip below 250 towards 240, then the allies will change the dynamics of this equation.
You know, today, this India you put in as a bloc. It looks very uniform bloc, but it is not at all uniform. Had this been such a uniform bloc, they would have fought election together because you put in parties like TMC into that bloc which were not together.
Yeah, but
so I'm telling you, see, if hypothetically they were crossing the number of 272, do you see that Khichdi alliance of India alliance would have been able to give you a stable party, stable government? Not at all. It's
absolutely
out of
not.
question.
Out of question, but the thing
and the
is,
markets would have evaporated, like the 90% of would have
no,
gone
I
away.
agree. But what it does is gives the opposition a voice. You see, the opposition
that
feels
is true.
Chief Minister Hemant Soren gets arrested. Kejriwal gets arrested. You see, they feel that the entire system is ranged against them. Now they will feel there'll be voices within Parliament at least who will speak out every time
If
they're
you
targeted.
look at how close this battle has been, compare the vote share of the NDA with that of the India Alliance. The NDA's vote share is 45 of the votes counted so far. This could change towards the evening. 45% vote share for the NDA, 43% for the India Alliance. Only a 2% gap in terms of vote share. Those two curves, those two line graphs coming very close together. If I look at party-wise vote share, and give you a breakup of some of the important parties. The BJP's vote share is now down to 39.1. It had once touched 40.7. Last time they're 37.7. So they're 1.5 odd % up from the last time. The Congress's vote share now stands at about 25.2. They'd come down to about 20. So from there it's up about 5%. The Samajwadi Party's national vote share is 3.8. TMC at 3.4. If we look at a density map, and this will give you a very quick sense of how many seats are in contest. So look, it shows you the nature of the contest. NDA has 181 seats where their vote share is more than 50%, where you can say the NDA won strong. The India Alliance also has 125 seats where their vote share is 50% plus. So anybody who says the India Alliance was a weak coalition, that's not the case. The data is saying that almost on a relatively similar number of seats, they've done well too. The India Alliance currently has 221 seats where their vote share is between 40 and 50. The NDA has 178 seats where their vote share is between 40 and 50, showing really, Rahul Verma, the close nature of this contest. It's not been one-way traffic. 2014 was one-way traffic. 2019 was one-way traffic. This has been a very tight IPL final.
Yes, absolutely. And the heat map you've been showing across India map, it's very, very clear what seems to be happening is that states are going in one direction. There are some states where you are seeing a fight, meaning two parties are getting a large number of seats. Rajasthan would be one, UP would be one. But UP is a case where BJP is losing massively. And similarly, in Maharashtra, I think the BJP alliance are doing really badly.
Okay, so I just asked somebody who works very closely with Chandrababu Naidu about the conversation between the Prime Minister and Chandrababu Naidu. We're being told that there is zero chance of Chandrababu Naidu leaving. He will, of course, extract his pound of flesh, but there's no question, at least from the posturing that's happening, of leaving the NDA and joining the India Alliance.
Because people close to Nitish have also asserted that no chance of going back to India Alliance.
Yeah, because you remember, the one thing that Chandrababu Naidu and Andhra Pradesh needs is finances. Ideally, they would, of course, want special status. That's unlikely to happen, but they want finances. They'll have ministers in the government. They'll get ministers in the government now.
I want to show you how the votes have swung. In the 2014 elections, really the Congress's nightmare, the BJP suddenly increased their vote share in one election by 12%. The Congress lost 10% vote share in that election. Cut to 2019, where again the BJP was able to increase its national vote share by 7%. The Congress increased its national vote share by 1%. Now, the Congress has been able to increase its vote share by 5%, the BJP by 1%. So the Indian voters are signaling to everyone who's listening, forget the idea of a Congress Mukt Bharat. The Congress is here to stay. Jaisi hai, lade na lade, they'll get their act together whenever they do, but there's no going away from the reality that the Congress is here to stay, Rajdeep.
Can I get the Varanasi VVIP seat? Because
Meanwhile,
there was a lot of interest. There was a lot of interest in that seat earlier today when the Prime Minister appeared in a tough fight with Ajay Rai. How is Varanasi and the Prime Minister doing at the moment?
And
He's leading, but we need to know margins as well.
He was trailing briefly, but I think...
No, it's a very comfortable lead.
70,000 as opposed to 5.5 lakhs last time.
Last time was a 4.5
4 lakh 80,000.
No, but the counting is still going on.
Yeah, 4 lakh, but it is definitely less than last time, and it reflects what's happening in Purvanchal. In Purvanchal, which BJP dominated last time, the BJP has faced a tough fight. I mean, that is the reality of this election. That
No,
Uttar
but the other
Pradesh
reality is that there's only Ajay Rai against him. No, so it's also
Ajay Rai is not a bad candidate now. Ajay Rai is not a bad candidate to have. At least he's a MLA who's willing to take the battle into the enemy camp. Not too many congressmen are willing to even fight these elections.
Okay, look at the BJP's. When I look at seats, BJP is down 14 seats in Purvanchal from the last time. In Western Uttar Pradesh, they're down 6 seats. In Awadh, they're down 7 seats. In Bundelkhand, they're down 1. If I look at votes, in Bundelkhand, the BJP is down 7% votes from the last time. In Central Uttar Pradesh, they're down 4%. In Eastern Uttar Pradesh, they're down 2%. In Western Uttar Pradesh, they're down 3%. So in all parts of Uttar Pradesh, the BJP losing vote share. If I look at the Samajwadi Party swings and give you a sense of where the Samajwadi Party is gaining 19 leads for the Samajwadi Party in Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Gains over the last time. Gains also coming from Western UP, 5. So obviously the SP-Congress alliance working much better than the SP-BSP alliance. If I look at votes now and give you a sense of where these leads are coming from, big leads for the Samajwadi Party in different parts of Uttar Pradesh. So that's really the breakup of what's happening in Uttar Pradesh at this moment. In terms of vote share, the NDA and the India Alliance in Uttar Pradesh at a dead heat, 44 versus 44 in Uttar Pradesh. That is one of the big stories of this election at this moment.
Among in state terms, it's the biggest story.
It is.
Because it's India's biggest state. When that happens in Uttar Pradesh, I don't think anyone would have predicted, even in vote share terms, that the two sides would have been so close to each other. Yes, sir.
More importantly, because for BJP, UP matters much more, right? Like in BJP's 303 MPs, 60 were from UP, more than 60. So every 1 in 5 BJP MP comes from UP. And if BJP is going to go below, say, 50, then there are 50 or 45. Then
we've just heard that Chandrababu Naidu has told people around him that the swearing in Andhra Pradesh will happen on the 9th. On the 9th of June, they're saying the Prime Minister will attend. So clearly the messaging is that Prime Minister Modi stays, Prime Minister Chandrababu Naidu will very naturally have the Prime Minister come for his swearing in 9th of June.
The other story, Omar Abdullah has conceded defeat in Baramulla. Omar Abdullah concedes defeat in J&K's Baramulla. And look at the story. Mehbooba Mufti losing in Anantnag, Rajouri. But Omar Abdullah is losing to Engineer Rashid. Engineer Rashid, independent candidate fighting from jail. His son took over the campaign. And a friend of mine from Jammu and Kashmir is saying, sir, you all are all focusing on Uttar Pradesh. Humko statehood to nahi mili hai. Itna to hamare state ko bolo ki kam se kam they have a space in India. You know, it's a remarkable story because I guess there's a message that Kashmiris are sending. We don't want our political representatives to stay in jail. Please allow them to come out and compete. I hope that happens. I hope that Engineer Rashid is released. To put someone under PSA for so many years, unacceptable in my view, but that's another story.
The NDA has hit the psychologically significant 300 mark again. 243 leads for the BJP, now just 30 away from the majority. So they'd come down to 236. Thodi jaan mein jaan aayi for BJP supporters. 236 has gone up to 243. 299 now. So it's really going to it's going to be like the tail end overs of an IPL match. It'll go down quite to the wire. I want to see how many seats are still in play. At this moment, there are 76 seats where the margin between the party that's in the lead and the party that's at number 2 is less than 10,000 votes. 40 of those are with the NDA at the moment. 32 are BJP seats, 33 India Alliance seats, Congress at 13, Samajwadi Party at 10, TMC at 2. These are 76 seats. And if you look at the map of India, you quickly get a sense of where these seats are coming from. So if you look at the map of India, these are where the seats are coming from. So in Uttar Pradesh, there are lots of seats for the BJP where the margin is less than 10,000 votes, Rajdeep.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
North India and UP is slow first. Because otherwise the margin should have, and if you look at India Alliance as well, you will see a lot of seats are going to be for Samajwadi Party. Because I think UP counting is
and also Akhilesh Yadav made it clear, hum log baithenge, told all his agents, you sit there till the last moment, nothing like last round hai, ye, wo, don't take any victory for. I think it's been so intense, the competition, and as was said earlier, polarized. Our politics has become so polarized. Rajat was saying, you know, why is the opposition questioning the EC? Good point. But I think there's been such a lack of faith in institutions across the board in the last 5-10 years that people don't even want to believe that the election commission can conduct a free and fair election. It's worrying. I agree with you, but it shows the polarization.
And all the 40 seats for BJP is from North India. 32 for BJP, 3 of Janata Dal United, 1 for Apna Dal. All are UP Bihar parties. Meaning that like the 10,000 number is actually coming from...
This earthquake, Richter scale 7 that has happened in Uttar Pradesh, nobody had a clue. And, you know, Purvanchal, where even Prime Minister's constituency is there, Yogi's Adityanath's constituency, Gorakhpur and all
No,
is
my
that.
friend Preeti Chaudhary here kept saying this, that, you know, it's tough. Rahul Srivastava, who was our former National Affairs Editor, rang me up yesterday. He knows UP. He said, Rajdeep, I don't believe your exit poll numbers. You know, it's much tighter. And people on the ground, reporters on the ground were saying, sir, tighter. Bureaucrats. 40-40 was actually what one bureaucrat told me.
To be honest,
and Yogendra Yadav also said this. That,
Yogendra Yadav, let's give credit. Yogendra Yadav has got it right.
But
and Prashant Kishore hasn't.
A lot of even BJP leaders. No, Rajat, a lot of BJP leaders in Uttar Pradesh would offline tell you that इस बार फंसा हुआ है. हर सीट फंसी हुई थी. You'd speak to everyone, they'll say सीट फंसी हुई है.
Okay, Shashi Tharoor has now established a lead, or so he says. Now, where Dr. Tharoor is getting his numbers, where are we getting our numbers is another matter. But Dr. Tharoor is insisting that he has taken a lead. Can you give us a sense? But, you know, what we wanted to know, Rahul, in your margin calculator,
It's become
he's still
tight.
behind.
No, he's still tight. It's tighter.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, how it works is the candidate is sitting on the counting center, so he obviously gets it first. It takes a bit of time, but in our calculator, it's 2,44,632 for Rajiv Chandrasekhar, 2,28,110 for Shashi Tharoor, and Panyan Ravindran is at 1,68,269.
You know, I just wanted to know, when you said the margin calculator, we looked at, as Rahul pointed out, most of the BJP's close-run seats are in North India. Where are the India Alliance's close-run seats? Are they
those are from...
are they in Karnataka
only, yeah.
or also from UP Bihar only?
Yeah, it has to be North.
So is UP Bihar behind the rest of the...
And we look at the Bihar
so less
story
than
also.
10,000, less than 10,000.
We haven't looked at Bihar at all. I mean, Bihar was supposed to be the story.
Where the India Alliance tight seats are, a lot of tight seats in Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh very tight at this moment. Some tight seats in Maharashtra. That's really the bulk of where the tight seats are.
I think almost 20-25.
If you look at the NDA's tight
So
seats
UP
and where
actually
these
had
tight
Kartik
contests
Itapkar.
are, again, many of them in Uttar Pradesh and some in Maharashtra. So it's in Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra that the tight real battles are going on at the moment.
Tight, but I'm surprised Maharashtra is counting slowly. Come on.
Odisha, I see
my
lot of
home
seats in
state
Odisha.
must do better, yaar.
But Odisha, Rahul, is Odisha also the 2-3 seats there which are...
No, but look at it. You know, Rahul, while you're saying Maharashtra counting slowly, the story of Maharashtra, if I may tell our viewers, because that's the other big story. The two big states is where they're taking the hit. 30 to India, 17 to NDA. Meanwhile, Jagan Mohan Reddy is to meet the governor of Andhra Pradesh, set to resign as chief minister. Chandrababu Naidu to take oath on June 9th. Jagan Mohan Reddy seeks time at 4 p.m. to resign as chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. So that's the one state that the exit poll was spot on. Exit poll getting absolutely right. Let's give our pollsters credit when they've got it. They've got the big picture wrong, and I'm sure Pradeep Gupta will have an explanation for that. But on Andhra Pradesh, they've got it right. The big breaking news at the moment, Jagan Mohan Reddy seeking time at 4 p.m. to resign as chief minister. Preeti, you want to give us some cool hawa? because we've got a lot of heat that's been generated.
All right, let's look at the hot seat, cool hawa seat. Let's get Wayanad. Let's look at Wayanad. Rahul Gandhi comfortably placed in Raebareli, Uttar Pradesh, and comfortably placed in Wayanad as well. So the cool hawa blowing in favor of Rahul Gandhi. The hot seat, cool hawa seat for Rahul Gandhi. Let's look at Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. Though Shashi Tharoor right now contests what we are showing. He contests what we are showing. He says that he's in the lead, but this could be the old data that we have. But as per this, it is the BJP which is in the lead. Rajiv Chandrasekhar leading in the seat of Thiruvananthapuram. But I will give a caveat there. Shashi Tharoor says he is leading on this seat. Hyderabad. Well, that has been under the spotlight. Hot seat, cool hawa in Hyderabad, blowing in favor of Asauddin Owaisi. Madhavi Lata trailing from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the cool hawa blowing in favor of the AIMIM candidate. Let's go all the way to Haryana, my home state, Kurukshetra. The hot seat, cool hawa seat right now. Naveen Jindal seems to be comfortably placed. It's a narrow lead that he has, but Mr. Gupta sniping at his heels, but let's see how that turns out.
Good for all of us.
All right, with that, we're going to go into a break and we will be back with more. All the analysis right here. Do stay with us. A quick break. Stay with us.
सिग्नेचर जो एक नया स्टाइल बनाए सिग्नेचर अ प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम दिलबाग
ड्यूलक्स वेदर शील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप धूल और बारिश से
इट्स कलरफुल इट्स पावरफुल
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए। सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी। मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें। मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ।
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
चांदनी चौक की सीट हम रिकॉर्ड वोटों से जीत रहे हैं। वहीं दिल्ली की 7 सीटें भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से जीत रही है। केंद्र में हम सरकार बना रहे हैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में।
एग्जिट पोल कह रहे हैं कांटे की टक्कर है।
एग्जिट पोल का मुझे पता नहीं, मुझे तो पता है कि जमीन पर स्थिति क्या है। कार्यकर्ताओं ने बहुत मेहनत की है, हमने बहुत मेहनत की है और जनता का जो प्रबल समर्थन मिला है, हम चुनाव जीत रहे हैं।
It will be a bigger majority than 2014 and 2019. 2024 will be a landmark victory of Prime Minister Modi's.
सिग्नेचर जो एक नया स्टाइल बनाए. Signature, a premium product from Dilbag.
Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex.
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से.
It's colorful. It's powerful.
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए. सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ.
What you doing? Yeah, you're getting me down. Got me looking at you, scared in the crowd.
Why do you wanna move like that? Why you want
Coming for you. Let me show you why.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
घर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
आपका जॉय, भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई-बाइक. Co-presented by Green Lamb Laminates, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा. Driven by JK Tire, देश का टायर. Powered by MP Birla Cement Perfect Plus, Concrete Special. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Co-powered by Panasonic AC for smart homes. Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbag. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सॉल्यूशंस, जीवन भर का साथ. अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी. पेप्स, द ड्रीम मेकर्स.
A stunning backdrop of the Victoria Memorial now laying testimony to what would be a number that Mamata Banerjee would be ecstatic about when it comes down to the leads in West Bengal on 42 seats. To take a look at the seat right now where Mamata Banerjee's TMC is leading, she'd be very happy. Leading on 31 seats, the BJP is now down to 10 from 18 in 2019. Congress at 1 and left at a 0. This is what it looks like for Mamata Banerjee. This is as good as it gets for Mamata Banerjee. Even by her standards, she thought she'd go up to 28. Right now, leading in 31 seats. Let's see how it translates into vote share in West Bengal on 42 seats. A quick look there. And once again, the TMC with 45% of the vote share. The BJP at 36%, 4% Congress left at a 6%. Rajdeep, number one. To go alone now, Mamata Banerjee having the last laugh, not to go with the India Alliance. And ultimately, it is the woman who got Mamata Didi's back.
You know, 45% is a vote share up. You see, that's the difference. I thought that I think her strategy was to see whether the opposition vote would get divided between Congress left and BJP. That's got done partly. 6 and 4% are also important, but she's also increased her vote. So she's had a double benefit. But I think the real story at the moment is also that the NDA has touched 300 in trends. And as we've been saying, 300 gives them a safe bump over 272. Remember, there are allies, of course, who are there. The BJP itself, as of now, seems extremely unlikely to cross 272. And psychologically, that too is important because they got 282. Remember, in 2014, that time the mission was mission 272. Then they got 303. Now they've come back possibly to 247 as they are at the moment. It does make the BJP, it'll rework the balance within the NDA, but the NDA as a group has touched 300. And Rahul, this shows that decision to go along with Chandrababu Naidu in Andhra Pradesh and to break Nitish Kumar away from Bihar are the two decisions taken which have ensured that Mr. Modi will become Prime Minister for a third time. Those two decisions were key.
There are a few things which are quite apparent from the India Today election intelligence dashboard. The BJP's tally has started creeping up. They'd fallen to as low as 236. The BJP currently sits at 245. Still well short of a majority, but it really was looking like they'd be in the 230s. Now they're inching towards 250. Telugu Desam is at 16 seats. Nitish Kumar's JDU at 15. Two very substantial allies here. The BJP will need to depend both on Chandrababu Naidu and on Nitish Kumar because the others are way too insignificant. Eknath Sena 6. Ramvilas Paswan's party, his son's party, Chirag Paswan's party 5. NCP of Ajit Pawar only 2, Janata Dal Secular only 2, RLD 2. So very small. So basically, in the new BJP government that is formed, high dependence on Nitish Kumar and high dependence on Chandrababu Naidu. That's the way it looks like at this moment. But that 300 mark is a psychologically significant marker and the NDA seems to have touched it. The Congress, which had gone up to 100 seats at one time, now at 93. The heroes from the India Alliance's perspective are Samajwadi Party at 36. Big leads for the Samajwadi Party. Trinamool at 31. DMK of Stalin at 21. The Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena at 10. Sharad Pawar's NCP at 6. These are the bulk of the India formation parties. Now what I want to show you is the BJP Congress head-to-head situation. There are 216 seats out of 443 where the battle is between BJP and Congress for 1 and 2. These are called direct contests. In these seats, the Congress is winning on 29% of them. This is a big change from the last time, ladies and gentlemen, because last time the BJP had won 90% of the seats where it was directly BJP versus Congress. That now is down to 71. So BJP winning, but Congress also being able to hold its own by its relatively low standards relative to the last two elections. Where the BJP is getting bested is in the direct fights with the Trinamool. Because if the exit polls were right and BJP had swept West Bengal, then the assembly scenario would have changed. If Mamata Banerjee is able to beat the BJP in 72% of the direct BJP-TMC face-offs, then she'll say, okay, I've been able to fight anti-incumbency at the local level, and then even in the next assembly election, she'll claim she has a chance. Now I want to come to the BJP versus SP battles. Here as well, the BJP being bested. 56 seats in Uttar Pradesh where the battle is BJP versus Samajwadi Party. The Samajwadi Party leading in 30 of those. That's 54% leads for the Samajwadi Party. Remember, the BJP had projected this image of being completely invincible, decimating everything in its wake. That's not happening in West Bengal. That's not happening in Uttar Pradesh either. Those are the BJP-Congress direct fights. Now I want to show you what the new power map of India looks like at this moment. This is the old map of India. Start from the south. Kerala and Tamil Nadu in both 2019 and 2024 looking quite similar. The big changes are in Maharashtra. Look at how there's very limited blue, which is the India Alliance color in Maharashtra. Compare now with Maharashtra 2024, where India Alliance has done remarkably well. Not much change in Gujarat, no change in Madhya Pradesh, except that Chhindwara has now moved to the BJP corner. But big changes in Rajasthan. Look at this map of Rajasthan and how saffron it is. Compare that to Rajasthan this year, where the Congress has really come back. This is one of the big mistakes the BJP made. Despite winning, to lose ground so fast after the assembly elections too now shows how quickly the ground can move from underneath your feet. Look also at Uttar Pradesh, the biggest story of this election. Look at how saffron Uttar Pradesh was in 2019 when, you know, the BJP did well despite having SP, BSP together. SP and Congress, arguably a less formidable alliance, but turning it up in Uttar Pradesh. Look at how blue Uttar Pradesh is, especially in eastern Uttar Pradesh. The big change also in West Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee has done very well. This power map, Rajdeep, really showing how the power map of India has changed. Indian politics has changed. The nature of the next government has changed. The Indian people have spoken, and they've spoken very loud.
I'll tell you also to look at some other element, because remember, we have to look ahead, and in the next 9 months, there are 4 or 5 big elections between now and 2025 November. Let's start from Maharashtra. In Maharashtra at the moment, India Alliance has 26, NDA has 21. So when I look at the state of Maharashtra, and I'll probably come here to the map, Rahul, with your permission, and see whether we go to these state by state and look at all the assemblies that are going to the
You want to start with Maharashtra, Rajdeep?
We start with Maharashtra.
48 seats in Maharashtra.
48 seats in Maharashtra, and take a look at what Maharashtra is showing. 26-21, which clearly means that with elections 4 months from now the India Alliance will hold together. What's clear is they will see opportunity that they can win the Vidhan Sabha. So that's a big challenge for the BJP.
Just look at how the graph has crashed. 37 seats for the India Alliance in the last Lok Sabha elections, crashing to 21.
Actually, it's more than that, because, you know, the Uddhav Sena has left. It was actually 41 with the Uddhav Sena.
How I calculate is, if that MP moved alliance, what's the starting point at the base, at the beginning of this election?
So it's a loss of about, you know, it's a substantial loss of 16 seats.
From 9 to 26, this is the India Alliance.
So therefore, that's good news for the opposition there in Maharashtra, which comes in October. Let's turn to Haryana, which is the next.
No, just for a moment, I want to look at the vote share in Maharashtra, Rajdeep, because this is very interesting. The BJP at 25.8, the Sena of Eknath Shinde at 15.4, Ajit Pawar's Sena, because they had fewer seats, only 3.6. But look at this, 18.9, Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, 16.2 Congress, NCP of Pawar is 7.3.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's about 44 plays 41. So in vote percentages, you'll have the Mahayuti probably ahead, but because the MVA seats are well distributed in terms of their different areas of influence, it's worked better. Let's turn from there to Haryana.
Oh, we've just received word that Sharad Pawar is in touch with Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. Even though Naidu's office is saying,
Sharad Pawar has waited for this moment. You see, this is the thing. He wants to play. He had told me, I want to be the Harkishan Singh Suji. This was a year ago. This was a year ago.
Can I come in? See, in a scenario where Prime Minister Modi has to rely upon a Chandrababu Naidu and a Nitish Kumar is not a comfortable scene, by the way.
So you're accepting that?
See, look at the track record of these two leaders. Right. It's something which is not a comfortable position, no matter they touch 300. That's not a scenario that Prime Minister would have loved to be there.
Good point. Good point. Haryana, if I may look at, because
let's now.
Okay, you want to look at this? Interesting, because
the moment Rajdeep sees Maharashtra, his eyes light up. He says, okay, let's spend more time on Maharashtra.
No, the BJP's gains and losses are almost across in terms of seats, but if we can look at the other side.
No, I'll show you votes. In votes, the BJP is down 7% in Konkan, 6% in Marathwada, 1% in Mumbai, 2% in the north, 2% in Vidarbha, gaining 1% vote share in Western Maharashtra.
Yeah, so it shows Maharashtra's been a mirror cracked. And clearly the BJP, particularly, remember Marathwada is where the Maratha agitation has peaked. That's where they've suffered their biggest hit. Konkan and Thane, I'm not surprised, but Marathwada is the surprise. Now you turn to Haryana, and Preeti's face lights up when I say Haryana, but look at what Haryana has done. It's 5-5. Now, this is a state which you win 10-0 last time. When it becomes 5-5, I'm sure even in vote share, you're going to find a very, very tough...
A very close contest in Haryana. Rahul, can you tell us some of the...
So, Congress is leading on the reserved seat of Ambala, Gurgaon, Hisar, Rohtak and Sirsa, which again is a reserved seat. The NDA,
so, they've done well in the Dalit, in the 3 SC seats.
And if you look at, that's the combination, Rajdeep, for the assembly election. Dalits and Jats and Muslims together.
That's what it is.
You want to explain that, Preeti, to us?
The Muslims are negligible. Till now, the history of Haryana politics has been the Dalits. There's a divide in that as well. The Chamars and the others have not come ever. The Chamars have voted with the Congress. The other Dalits like Valmikis have never come. This is changed Haryana politics.
In Kurukshetra,
Just 1,000.
1,000.
Less than 800
Most
Naveen
of them,
Jindal
I'm
versus
getting in-
Sushil Gupta,
Rajiv,
very
I'm getting
small.
in reports that all the other 5 seats are less than 5,000.
So
Of
Sonipat, that's
being
right.
won by the,
no. Look at this. Sonipat, Mohanlal Badoli, just 210,000 versus Satpal Brahmachari,
So that's also within
207,000.
10,000.
Very
They,
close.
all seats they are saying
Let's
is
come
like
to
that.
Karnal. Karnal, remember, is where the Chief Minister comes from.
Here, this
Manoj
is
Lal
comfortably.
Khattar
This
is
is not
contesting.
bad, yeah.
3 lakh versus 1 lakh.
So he's winning comfortably.
Let's come to Faridabad. 2,57,000 versus 1,90,000 for Mahinder Pratap
Relatively
Singh.
comfortable.
Bhiwani, Mahindergarh, Dharambir Singh,
Very close again.
2,49,000, 244. So 3 seats at
Three
least.
seats.
3
yeah.
of the 5 seats of the BJP are within 10,000
gonna
at the
come down
moment
to the wire.
in the state of Haryana, going down to the wire there
So
in the state of
let's
Haryana.
spend a moment on the vote share for Haryana. The BJP has
Look at this.
45.9%. The Congress has 45.2%. If you're a political junkie, just remember there's an assembly election.
Add up 3%.
Assembly election in a few weeks from now. The Congress has a real chance in Haryana.
Yes, Preeti.
Well, right now, there's word coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party that they are leading in Kurukshetra.
Okay, so that's going to go down the wire. Kurukshetra is going to go down to the wire. Can I then look at the next state that's going to the assembly
Jharkhand?
elections, which is Jharkhand?
No, but just look at how, never write off anybody in Indian politics. Look at how in 2014, the Congress was at 27 to 29 in Haryana, suddenly going up to 48%. The India Alliance, which is Congress plus AAP together, is 48 versus 46 of the BJP.
No, it's quite remarkable. Can I seek your indulgences going back to Maharashtra for a moment? Only to show one more story of that. Let's look at the allies of how Shiv Sena UBT is doing. We got a lot of viewers watching in Mumbai.
For votes or seats?
In terms of seats and votes, both. If we can look at Maharashtra, break down the
So
two
this
alliances.
is the Eknath Shinde Sena is 5, Ajit
Okay,
Pawar
so
is
let
at
me
2.
explain now. The BJP last time, Rahul, won 23 of the 25 seats they contested. This time BJP contested 28. They're leading at the moment in only half. So the BJP is taking a hit also. NCP, Ajit Pawar contested 6. They're leading in 2. Sena, Shinde contested 15. So they're all below 50%. No one, yes, Rajat.
There has been a secular decline of BJP's strength when it was at its peak in 2019. It has saw consistent decline because of all the experiments that happened. Then Fadnavis being cut to size, all of those things happened and that has brought things
No, and
downward.
people were saying Congress is the Kamzor Kadi. It's not.
I'm just giving the breaking news. Priyanka Gandhi is hailing Kishori Lal. Kishori Lal Sharma could well be the giant killer of Uttar Pradesh. He could be defeating Smriti Irani. Priyanka Gandhi seems to have already claimed victory, saying that Kishori Lal, the man who everyone wrote off, never had doubts about Kishori Lal, is what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra congratulating the Amethi pick Kishori Lal Sharma. So Sharma ji ki chai ab honi hai. But just to go back to that.
No, just 1 second. We'll take it one at a time. I want to show you what's happening in Amethi. Amethi becomes extremely important because when Smriti Irani beat Rahul Gandhi, she emerged as the giant killer. At this moment, we'll give you the live update from Amethi. Smriti Irani, formidable minister in the Modi cabinet, at 110,000 versus 158,000.
Okay, let's
Rahul
hear
Gandhi
Rahul
there on television right now, going to the Congress headquarters.
Okay, so there you've got Rahul Gandhi.
It'll give him some confidence. Remember, he came out Moosawala, 295, 230 is where they are. And he'll say, well, boss, you've been popufication.
No,
you have to give him some.
come on, we've dissed him enough. It's time to give him credit.
No, I'll tell you one thing he did, the narrative.
You've
The
got to give him
narrative
credit.
Rahul Gandhi was able to build, and I believe inequality more than anything else is a narrative that struck a chord, especially
This is a big story. Kishori Lal Sharma, 158 plays 110. This is a big story. Giant slayer being slayed. David versus Goliath. This is one of the biggest stories of this Lok Sabha
election. And just see how the election turns in just 5 years. You defeat Rahul Gandhi and then you end up possibly losing to a Kishori Lal. Those are images, Priyanka Gandhi there with Kishori Lal, but I think these are old images
she just basically Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said that 5 years ago I told Kishori Lal Sharma that next time you will win. She claims that she told him 5 years ago that next time she'll win.
मुझे किशोरी लाल ने कहा 10:30 बजे मुझे रात को फोन आया आपको चुनाव लड़ना है. So he said 1 घंटा तो मैं सोया नहीं कि मैं करूं क्या.
I was there the night before when he was told. Suddenly at about 11 o'clock, Kishori Lal leaves the Congress headquarters looking extremely tense. So nobody knew what happened.
Absolutely.
Apparently he was looking tense was because he was told he had to fight the election.
You know, Rahul, you don't have a map of dinners for us, right?
No.
Sons and daughters. Somebody wanted to know that. I guess we can build that up later.
Let the data intelligence unit also do some work.
Yeah,
everything is done on live analytics. What will DIU do? They have to be doing some work.
Let's go. We'll go each alphabet and we choose one person. Akhilesh Yadav here winning. Abhishek Banerjee. This is a big one. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is trailing. That's one worth looking at, Rahul. Because he's trailing. Look at it, Yusuf Pathan. Well, 14,000. So it could still go down to the wire. But here's the story. Take a look at the votes that number 3 is picking up. So when number 3 is picking up votes between the battle between the two, maybe he's taking votes also from Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who's won 5 times. So this could be a big election. Let's go to B. We'll take big one in every alphabet, and then you can. There you go. Who's the one looking in B? An interesting candidate.
Baghel, despite the
Bajan Panda is back in business, Kendra Pada. So he's,
But they're winning virtually everything in Odisha.
So, but he's lost in the past.
Big news, yeah, because
so he's made a comeback.
He was a principal opponent for Naveen.
making a comeback. Basuri Swaraj set to make a spectacular debut. By the way, Delhi is 7-0. So Delhi is a city where the BJP is totally dominating.
So there's no one national picture, very fractured picture,
Bhupender Yadav's important union minister is leading at the moment. So the Bs are done. We'll do C, D, E, and then we'll do the rest later. Let's see if we can find C's. Rahul's election.
No, Charanjit Singh Channi in Jalandhar is leading. So the Congress is largely held on. There was a lot of turbulence, poaching, etc. They've held on to their gains.
And look at it, Mr. Channi was demoted. This is Indian politics. Completely destroyed in Punjab 2 years ago. Now he's winning there in Jalandhar. This is an interesting one. Big story coming out from Karnataka, Bengaluru rural.
Wow, and he's getting hammered,
cardiologist, is leading by a big margin.
Almost
over
1.5 lakh votes.
And think about DK Shivkumar. 1 year ago, we talked about him as a kingmaker. And a future boss, an Amit Shah equivalent. His own brother is losing.
Let's not get carried away. DK Shivkumar and Amit Shah, there's no comparison.
अरे अभी देखो ना कभी-कभी कुछ करना पड़ता है इस तरह से बोलना पड़ता है. Dilip Ghosh trailing. This is an interesting constituency because of the person he is trailing to. Kirti Azad at the moment is leading, but we could go to Digvijay Singh, who's giving a bit of a battle. Possibly a fight there.
This is his erstwhile principality.
He's done a much better job. He's
30,000 gap.
30,000, but compared to what the others are losing in Madhya Pradesh, it's a slightly better fight. So Digvijay Singh is losing.
Sanju Verma of the BJP is with us. Salman Soz is with us. Sanju Verma, to you first. 295 leads for the NDA. The BJP's own tally at this moment, far from the majority mark. So it's 241, very far from the majority mark. How are you reading these numbers, Sanju Verma?
Rahul, before coming on your show, I was told that, out of the 64.2 crore odd voters who've voted, not every vote has been counted. We still have about 28 to 30 crore votes, where the reconciliation and tallying has not happened. So I'm very confident that BJP will get the majority figure and well past it. We'll be well past 272 on our own. And as things stand now, the NDA certainly is in the lead. I will not beat around the bush. The numbers.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Would you accept that if you don't reach 272, it's a blow? You see, this entire election was fought 543 seats. There's only one leader, one nation. If you win less than half, will there be a grudging acceptance that this election has not quite been as smooth as you might have hoped? At least some humility for once?
Rajdeep, let me be very clear. Am I disappointed? At the Uttar Pradesh numbers, most certainly yes. I'm not going to be lying. West Bengal has been a disappointment. But if on the one hand, there have been misses from Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, I think also give BJP credit for the fact that after 25-year long reign. Naveen Patnaik will finally have to hang up his boots. The BJP has done a stellar job in Odisha. The BJP has done a stellar job in Odisha. The BJP NDA alliance with Pawan Kalyan and Chandrababu Naidu has completely routed YSRCP. So I think Andhra Pradesh and Odisha stand out as two very, very strong states in terms of our performance. Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, we will have to
put forth a nara of 370. You're not even closing in on 270 right now. Put forth a nara of 370. You're not even closing in on 270 right now.
Yeah, so Preeti, I started by saying that Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal have been serious disappointments. And at this point in time, knowing how BJP functions, whether it is victory or defeat, going back to the drawing board and analyzing what went wrong is certainly going to happen. But at the same time, if you are going to tell us that, BJP sarkar nahi banayegi, I disagree. Narendra Modi Pradhan Mantri banenge.
No. Sanju Varma, no one's telling you that. Prime Minister Modi is going to be back. Salman Soz, I just want to get you in for a quick comment. Seriously, Salman Soz, you tell me, did you even think you're going to close into these numbers? If I look at UP numbers, I've spoken to so many from the Congress and the Samajwadi Party in UP. They would have never imagined. Congress would have never imagined leading in 8 out of 17 that they fought.
Preeti, first, let me just say that on behalf of the Congress Party, I thank the Indian voter for standing up to this dictatorship that Prime Minister Modi had unleashed and the BJP had unleashed on the country. I think the people have spoken loud and clear. They don't want arrogance. They want humility in politics. They don't want you to tell them that we're giving you food, so give us your vote. They want you to understand that the food is their right and the vote is not your right. So I think if the message for the BJP is clear, and by the way, let me just say that everybody had written us off. And by the way, all of you have seen me on TV since 2012. I'm a long-suffering Congress supporter. Today, I'm smiling, but of course, I hope that these trends yield final results. But if they do,
Congress supporters.
So what will change?
Salman Soz speaking
that's
for
a good
many.
point. So what will change? Professor Soz, Professor was the dad. Salman, your dad is a great friend, so I remember him fondly. But what will change? Do you believe, suppose that Prime Minister Modi becomes Prime Minister again? That seems more likely. The NDA forms a government. How will anything then change?
No, but Rajdeep, I do not think with these numbers right now, the way they stand, I don't think there is a guarantee that Prime Minister Modi will be Prime Minister for a third term. That is my view. I think a lot is going to change if these numbers stay.
Let Sanju Varma respond to that. Sanju Varma,
please come in.
We've seen Sharad Pawar reaching out to Chandrababu Naidu, reaching out to Nitish Kumar. The opposition will try and fish in troubled waters, try and say, okay, Chandrababu Naidu, you become Prime Minister. Are you concerned that some of that could have an impact on the next government formation, Sanju Varma?
Rahul, first and foremost, a very few quick points. In the last 29 odd years, out of those 29 odd years, 26 years, Nitish Kumar has been largely with the BJP or BJP and its allies. Yes, we had some problems with the Shiromani Akali Dal, but on our own, we have never disrespected an ally, not even Uddhav Thackeray. Whereas if you look at the Congress's history, be it I.K. Gujral, be it Deve Gowda, be it Chandrasekhar, be it V.P. Singh, or be it their own Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, ऐसा कोई बचा नहीं जिसे कांग्रेस ने ठगा नहीं. So in terms of coalition politics, taking your question, hypothetically assuming it's a coalition government, I think the manner in which Congress has repeatedly humiliated its allies, Congress does not stand a chance. And I always say, the fulcrum of the alliance in the alliance, the India alliance is the Congress. And I, even at this point, don't think they will pass cross the 100 mark. Whereas the BJP
will there be a little, ma'am, will there be a little step back from this belief कि हम ही सब कुछ जानते हैं, हम ही राजा हैं, हम ही देश चलाएंगे, farmer law चलाना है, one nation, one election.
Please, Rajdeep, can you please hold your horses? Rajdeep, let's be very clear about one thing. I have the humility to admit that Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal were disappointments. Do you have the practicality to admit that Odisha and Andhra Pradesh have been two stellar performances by the BJP? Do you have the practicality to say
I will admit to Andhra Pradesh, but Andhra Pradesh, please give credit to Mr. Naidu for once.
So
he drove the campaign. Now you are not going to take credit for Andhra Pradesh, surely.
Over me? Stop talking over me.
No, madam. See, this is precisely it. People are tired about spokespersons coming and speaking down to. No, 1 minute. No, please put your voice down. I want to say this. For the last 5 years, I've heard you, and I will continue to hear you. You and I are friends. Why do you need to shout at me? Why do you need to talk down to me? I don't talk down to you. I respect your views. You come very well prepared. Salman Sos, please accept though what is being said. The Congress also is not a party that can bring people together. There's a sense that the Congress still believes it is the driving force. So why will Chandrababu Naidu or Nitish Kumar join hands with you?
Well, Rajdeep, first of all, I think if we just go by recent history, the BJP has done nothing but devastate political parties, its own partners. Whether it was the Shiv Sena, a long-standing partner, Akali Dal, even PDP, you name it, they've done it. But forget all that. You talk about the Congress party and that we cannot bring people together. Rajdeep, I think with the seasoned leadership of Khargeji, and with Rahul Ji's 2 yatras, a lot of people have come together in this country. I believe, and I know you people believe too, because you people are, you know politics very well. The alliance in Uttar Pradesh that no one gave a chance to, no one, including you people in your exit polls. That alliance was strong because we were there, we were part of that, because Rahul Ji was talking about the constitution.
Okay, so to do a quick last response, otherwise she will say that I didn't give her enough time. She sends me angry WhatsApp with an emoji, that red emoji which I don't understand, but go ahead.
Rajdeep, can I please?
Yes, dear.
Yes. First and foremost, I share WhatsApp messages with Rahul Kanwal, with you and with Preeti also. I'm very open about it. Yes.
But you get very angry with me.
Can I finish? There are times when I've told Preeti I loved your debates. I've told Rahul Kanwal the same. And there are times when I say I was very disappointed. And I say the same to you. But I don't make my WhatsApp chats public. And there are times when you have always responded to everything by sending me a namaskar. So does that mean that you're subservient to Sanju Verma?
Absolutely subservient.
Okay. So now let me say this.
मैं डरता हूँ तुम कहीं मेरे WhatsApp पब्लिक कर दोगे अगर मैं कुछ बोल दूँ तो इसलिए मैं नमस्कार भेजता रहता हूँ.
No, I'm very clear. I say it like it is. I started by saying I am disappointed about 2 states which threw up nasty surprises. Point number 1. Point number 2, I'm equally confident that BJP, by virtue of emerging as the single largest party and by virtue of the fact that the Congress will be limited to less than 100 seats as a standalone party, that clearly sends out a signal that the BJP led by Narendra Modi will come back to power for the 3rd time with Prime Minister Modi taking
but Sanju Verma, there's a serious question about how you see the nature of this government being different from the last 2. Now remember, this is the 7th time that Prime Minister Modi, candidate Modi was up for election, whether as a Chief Minister or as Prime Minister. He's never worked in an alliance. He's never had to work in an alliance. This verdict, in the way that it stands at the moment, with the BJP currently, if I look at the current tally for the BJP, you are at least 30 short of a majority, 241. So you're 33 short of a majority. How is this government likely to be different from Modi 2.0 and Modi 1.0? Sanju ji?
Yeah, thank you. Rahul, anyone who understands how Narendra Modi functions, and I'm sure even his worst critics like Rajdeep will agree to one thing. Narendra Modi is not a leader you can put a gun to his head or bully him. So I think when it comes to navigating the ups and downs of coalition politics, Narendra Modi can do that much better than a lot of other people, because as I said, beat I.K. Gujral, Devegowda, Chandrasekhar, VP Singh, ऐसा कोई बचा नहीं जिसे कांग्रेस ने ठगा नहीं. Congress's track record on that count has been very, very unflattering. So I don't think if push comes to shove, BJP will have to be part of a coalition government. But indeed, if that were to be the case, hypothetically speaking, I think Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, they know their job better than any of us on this panel. And we will have a government that is stable in terms of politics.
So you're saying your practical politics politicians, you'll deal with the new reality. Salman Soz, you described yourself, and I think that's a voice that will echo with many long-suffering Congress supporter. How do you see the nature of Indian politics change? This is a very different verdict from the verdict the BJP was expecting. Given this verdict, how do you see the nature of political contestation change over the next 5 years?
I think the politics in India has changed completely. I mean, if these results hold, Rahul, you know it, the people in the studio know it. You know, this was a blatantly communal Islamophobic campaign that Prime Minister Modi ran in 2 states, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal and other states. But in these 2 states, the people in these states and others said a resounding no. We don't want this. We want you to talk about unemployment. We want you to talk about inflation. We want you to talk about our future. Don't play with our future. Don't divide us. Don't divide us like this. Don't divide brother and brother. And I think that is the message that BJP should really introspect on, because that is going to redefine, you know, we said...
Okay, I've got some good news. Salman Soz, your friend, you helped him in the campaign. Shashi Tharoor has now taken the lead. Shashi Tharoor now 2,99,667 versus Rajiv Chandrasekhar 2,95,720. It's a gap of about just 4,000 odd votes. Shashi Tharoor now taking the lead. Were you concerned, Salman, about him? He was trailing for a long time. It's a very tight fight because even Panyan Ravindran of the CPI is at 2,10,000 votes. This is one of the most exciting elections throughout the 2024 general election.
Well, you know, Shashi's a dear friend. He's my closest friend in the party, and I was there campaigning for him. It was a very tough fight then. It remains a tough fight. It is not a done deal. Yes, we have taken the lead. In fact, our lead is higher than that as far as I've been told. But there's still some votes to be counted. Let all the votes be counted. You know, he's a very important part of our parliamentary party, and I hope he squeezes through. It was a very, very tough fight, but I thank the people of Trivandrum for this great contest. But overall, Rahul, I think the Congress party has, to my mind, surprised everyone,
including itself.
Rahul,
no, actually,
our numbers suggest that we will be gaining more seats than what you see on your screen.
All right. Okay, we have to take the hot seat.
Yeah, please go for the hot seat, cool hawa. Please go for it.
Shashi Tharoor finally would be glad. He's been messaging Rajdeep that he's leading, and finally we are showing it on air. Shashi Tharoor leading, slender margin lead though, but leading on the seat of Thiruvananthapuram. The fan has shifted and the cool air blowing on Shashi Tharoor, but it's a slender lead. The counting still on, but Shashi Tharoor now leading in hot seat, cool hawa. Let's quickly also get in Hyderabad for a minute. Moving to Hyderabad, the hot seat, cool hawa blowing for, okay, now it's Asauddin Owaisi. The hot seat, cool hawa blowing for Asauddin Owaisi. Madhvi Lata is from the BJP, on the BJP ticket, trailing on the seat of Hyderabad, Telangana. Asauddin Owaisi leading. Now let's move to the national capital, where on all 7 seats at least, the BJP will take heart. It's leading. Basuri Swaraj, comfortable lead on Somnath Bharti. Hot seat, cool hawa now on the seat of New Delhi, where Basuri Swaraj leading. Somnath Bharti, not good news for him. He said he's going to shave his head off if he loses. Well, let's just see how that augurs for him. All right, so this is what it looks like, Rajdeep. But Rahul, I have one farmaish on the seat of Lakimpur Kheri, Uttar Pradesh, on the sitting minister Ajay Teni. There was a lot of rancor when I went there from the farmer. They were looking for natural justice of sorts that they will pay back this time around on what had happened in Lakimpur Kheri.
So Lakimpur Kheri is a seat where, remember, Mr. Teni got himself in a controversy during the farmer protests. His son was accused of running over farmers at the time, and the minister was not sacked, even though there was pressure on him to step down. And he was given a ticket yet again. During the assembly elections, Rahul, this entire area was swept away. And there's a story there. Yogi Adityanath, in 2017, dominated all these seats. Now the question arises, did Yogi fully get involved in the campaign, Rajat? I know that this has been the buzz in UP, that Yogi Adityanath was not entirely satisfied with the choice of candidates. He felt that he was being marginalized. Arvind Kejriwal and others picked up on that and said, Yogi will be removed.
Can I point out to you that in the seat of Faizabad, which is part of Ayodhya, Avadesh Prasad of the Samajwadi Party is at 1,65,879 votes against Lalu Singh of the BJP at 1,62,328. Now imagine, Rajat, if the Ram temple is built in Ayodhya, and of course it's a seat which has a substantial Muslim population, it's never been a pro-BJP seat that way, but symbolically, this is a very significant political moment.
See, Rahul, I come from Awadh, and Ram was the king of Awadh. And what I'm seeing is, barring Lucknow, look at Kanpur seat. The margin is less than 2,000 votes and Samajwadi Party is leading. When did that happen where Kanpur seats were actually led by Samajwadi Party? What is happening is consistent.
The roadshow in Kanpur.
That was there. It will take days and days, perhaps months, to unravel what actually happened in Uttar Pradesh. This colossal, I would call it a defeat of the double-engine government in Uttar Pradesh is wreckage all over, largely speaking. And therefore, I think all the thinking minds within the BJP should actually go into seat by seat.
Was there this Yogi factor? Was this a hidden story that Yogi, particularly in the first few rounds, never got fully involved?
No, then Arvind Kejriwal only heightened it.
There were debates and discussions. People who are from Uttar Pradesh know this very well, that Yogi Adityanath, the chief minister there, had a separate list of candidates because he felt that the anti-incumbency was even more severe against some of the sitting members of parliament. So he wanted to change more, bring in more, do his own caste calculus over there. But since it is a national election, it was more centralized with the AGM of sorts and those kind of agencies.
The story of Uttar Pradesh lies in how the votes have switched and shifted. Look at the BSP. In 2014, the BSP has 9.3% of the vote. In 2019, the BSP's vote share was double that at 19.4. In 2014, the BSP's vote share was 19.7. So the BSP has crashed to less than half of where it was. Those gains have come to the Samajwadi Party. So this idea that the Dalits and the Yadavs are antagonistic at the village level and therefore unlikely to support each other, the BSP vote share fragmenting has meant advantage to the India alliance.
But you see, this is where when you do your when you do your candidate selection carefully, there were only 6 Yadavs, out of which 4 were family members who were given tickets. There were 4 Muslims given. So therefore, out of the Samajwadi Party, 62, because there were 17 to Congress, 1 to TMC in UP. Out of your 62 candidates, your bulk were from groups like Prajapati, Rajbhar, Saini. You gave seats to Dalit candidates wherever you could. You tried to attract the non-Jatav Dalits. What Amit Shah did in 2014, by doing social engineering, this time Akhilesh Yadav attempted and did it openly.
I want to point out.
He did a bit of this in 2017. He did a bit of this in the state assembly.
Sir, cricket ki tarah. Listen, guys, this is like cricket. Jab balla jis din chal raha ho na, everything goes for a boundary. That's what I'm saying. They've tried. It's not like they didn't know this or they've done it for the first time. They assumed that the Yadavs were with them and the Muslims were with them. They tried to get candidates from other castes. And when it goes across the boundary.
See, this social engineering was
I want you to point out the blip on this, and it's very important. The pink there, it's Chandrasekhar Azad on the seat of Nagina. The BSP hasn't even won one seat.
No, but that's the future of Dalit votes, which is really up for contest.
In UP, Dalit politics changes with this seat.
Paulami Saha is at the BJP headquarters. There were lots of laddus, puris, aloo, all that being prepared. Paulami at the BJP headquarters this morning. They're still far and away the #1 party, but has the victory been muted now?
Definitely. You know, for over the past couple of hours, Rahul, they've been watching the results that are trickling in on TV screens across the BJP headquarters. Very tense, of course, looking at the numbers, hoping that, you know, they do go past the 300 mark comfortably in order to be able to form government with a good margin in their hands. Right now, we're outside. This is the area, Ashokji will show you, my camera person, the area where usually, of course, the victory celebrations take place. That is the top of where you see the dais is, and you can see, in fact, you know, where the BJP Karyakartas have gathered over here. Still hopeful that there will be celebrations tonight over here at the BJP headquarters, that the BJP will, of course, form government. You can see all the party workers over here still trying to, of course, you know, celebrate in this moment, raising Jai Shri Ram slogans, of course, sprinkling holy colors as well. They're saying that there will be Raj Tilak of Narendra Modi here today. You can see those images of someone carrying the image of the Prime Minister being, of course, being the tilak being put on him by his late mother, an image which they're carrying right now. Let's try and talk to some of them very quickly. क्या आपको अभी भी आशा है कि बीजेपी पूरी बहुमत के साथ, एनडीए पूरी बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाएगी?
बिल्कुल बनाएगी, 100% बनाएगी। फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार और मोदी जी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे और उनका आज रास्ते लगेगा।
जिस तरह के नंबर्स की इच्छा की गई थी, उस तरह के नंबर्स नजर नहीं आ रहे। 370
यही 400 पार है, यही 400 पार है। हमें तो सरकार बनानी थी।
400 पार तो नहीं हुआ, 370
मैम यही 400 पार है हमारे लिए। सरकार बनी है, अभी गिनती चल रही है, 5-5 लाख वोटों की गिनती हुई है। आखिर ऐसा है, अभी 5 लाख जीत है पक्का। 4 पिक्चर अभी बाकी है, 4 बजे तक 350 हो जाएंगी। जब शपथ ग्रहण होगा तो 4 सीट होंगी।
पिक्चर अभी बाकी,
but is the picture actually baki? Of course, those are party supporters and they're bound to be enthusiastic. But if I look at the seats, empirically, there are only 59 seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes. Those are equally distributed almost between the India Alliance and the NDA. India has 30, NDA has 27. So, picture isn't really very baki, Few of those, bulk of those are from Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. That's where the bulk of the tight fights are coming from. But if you're expecting miracles, those miracles aren't happening. The NDA seat share is at 293, coming down from the 300 which they had hit. If I look at the party-wise breakup of the NDA, the party-wise breakup of the NDA suggests the BJP is now down to 240. They'd gone up to 245. So it's not as if the roll of the dice, the luck of the dice is going there, where either the India Alliance is at 233, up 106 from the last time, and the Congress, Rajdeep, has hit triple digits. The Congress has hit, this is really like cricket and luck. If luck is going your way, they're now close to 100.
And look, Congressman, you asked Salman Soz this. Their internal number was 102. This was the number which was their conservative number. Their best case was 126. They're likely to end, Rahul, at the lower end. But either way, what Congress getting 100 means they virtually double their tally. But it also means the BJP goes below 272. I think we can say that safely. Whether the BJP ends with 250, 255, at the moment it's in the 240s. It could end up there as well, but it's not going to 272. What that means is that whatever government is formed now is a truly coalition government. It's one thing to get 265 and then you just need a few independents. Now you need major formations. You need Chirag Paswan, you need Nitish Kumar, you need Chandrababu Naidu, you need Eknath Shinde, you need NCP Ajit Pawar. You need all these 5-6 allies to come together. You will have a coalition government. How will that change the nature of governance is another question, but it also means somewhere down the line we've gone back to alliance politics. We haven't got the kind of clear-cut sweeping verdict that we got in 2014 and 19. And I think to that extent, some of us misread the mood. I thought it would be a clearer verdict, but it's obviously not that.
The buzz in the India Today Mediaplex is that Rajdeep in the office sweepstakes has put 2 parchas. One with a big majority, one with a small majority.
I am the closest.
Okay,
No, come on. Don't shout me out. You tell me your number and I'll tell you mine.
I put 2 numbers. You want to know the truth or you don't want to know the truth?
Okay, tell us the truth.
I put 2 numbers, 500 rupees on NDA 370, 500 rupees on NDA 300. Guess what's happening?
I put 500 rupees on 300 and I don't remember you putting.
We were mocking the...
I put 2.
We were mocking the double barrel. Rajdeep, this is not cheat.
He's cheating.
This is like tails I win, heads I win.
I'm not allowed to give 2 numbers. I have.
Till yesterday, all through exit polls, what did he say? Mera aa jayega. 370, 370. That's what you said.
In typical Bambaiya fashion, Bambaiya fashion wants to be on both sides of the ticket. Yahan bhi jeete, wahan bhi jeete.
I'm hoping it comes to 300 because then I will win.
Okay, the fact was, at the end of the day, I put 2 numbers out there. I went with Mr. Guptaji's number and I went with a number which was closer to what I thought they would be. I still did not expect the BJP to be less than 272. Let me be very honest. I expected the BJP to be around 280. As it is turning out, the BJP is around 240 and therefore about 38 seats less than what I expected. But the breaking news, sources now telling India Today, Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a meeting of all India Alliance partners today evening itself. Now, Rahul, interestingly, this meeting was to be held tomorrow. They thought that they would call them on the 6th. They've called them today. Sources saying Mallikarjun Kharge has called for a meeting of all India alliance partners today evening. Now, I don't know what they can do, but the one person we will look at closely is Sharad Pawar, because Sharad Pawar, as I told you, Rahul, has believed that if there is any role he can play, it's like a Harkishan Singh Surjit moving to try and get people together. I don't see that happening right away. But who knows, 6 months into politics...
No, but at least they think that Congress zinda hai, opposition zinda hai, and that it isn't one-way traffic.
I think that's the big change, Rahul, and it's going to affect the way the discourse goes. You saw Salman Soz far more aggressive than even Sanju Verma for a moment.
Do you see a resurgence of the Congress now? Is this when the Congress, or revival of the Congress?
No, let's not get carried away.
Because you talk about it a lot.
No, I think what you see is clearly, as I said, now state-level competition intensifying. Maharashtra, Haryana, Jharkhand, Delhi become even more crucial. Imagine if the opposition wins all 4, then the government comes into trouble.
And what will happen really is that the opposition will stop treating the BJP as these 10 feet tall giants marching down the Himalayas and them not having a clue about what to do. They'll say, okay, patka patki, you come, I wrestle, you wrestle. You know, it's like India and China now. Earlier there was a time when China intimidated the Indian psyche. Now it's a more, okay, you take my eye out, I'll take your eye out, then, you know, we'll both not have one eye. So it's a bit like that. That nature will change for sure. Siddharth Zarabi joins us, managing editor at Business Today Television. The markets are bleeding, and how? Nifty down, Sensex down, all the euphoria of the exit polls just vanishing all of a sudden, Siddharth?
Absolutely. In fact, the entire euphoria that we saw has been taken off the market, and the markets currently, Rahul, are worried, and you know this better, that with the BJP around 240, whether there will be a stable NDA-led government. That's the big question that's being asked in the markets, and we've seen volatility continuously across all the markets and all counters, particularly the PSU Bank Index, for example, defense stocks, everything that was associated with the 10-year growth story of the NDA, of the BJP government, is now coming under question as far as investors are concerned. And I guess by the time the markets close today at 3:30, we will have some advance indicators of how the market is thinking, because now, and I repeat this, Rahul, as I toss it back to you, the big question is the nature of the next government and whether we will see a 3.0.
No, but the fact is, Siddharth, you know, most likely there will be a Modi 3.0, but it's a very different Modi 3.0 to what the exit polls claim. It's a Modi 3.0 which will all accounts be dependent on two major allies, Nitish Kumar with about 14-15 seats and Chandrababu Naidu with about 15-16 seats. Does that change the way the market will look at this government?
Multiple scenarios and 4 scenarios that have been discussed in the market, including the one scenario that you spoke about, the NDA around 300. There is very clear the market...
That is the scenario now. That is
Absolutely.
The scenario.
I'm talking about the market impact. The markets are, for example, asking questions on whether there will be a shift away from the infrastructure Capex-led growth story, or come July in the budget, there will be some amount of spending, some amount of tax cuts, and that will play out in the consumption stocks. So the only green that we saw, Rajdeep, today were stocks like Britannia, stocks like HUL, some pharma stocks. And what does this tell you? That the markets are now perhaps factoring in, and we'll have to wait because the situation is changing minute by minute, of a change. And I just want to add one quick point. If the scenario that you are holding out comes true, and that's also being expected, I didn't mean to say that the markets are saying there's no return. The point is that even IT stocks, with the return of Chandrababu Naidu and the IT growth story that he had started, will find favor once again. So it plays out in many ways, Rajdeep.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Siddharth. We're going to come back to you. With that, let's dip into the latest news break that's coming in. Sources have told us that the Prime Minister will come. He will come to the BJP headquarters at 7 p.m. The Karyakartas have started to assemble. And 7 p.m. we will hear from the Prime Minister. What we are looking at, in all probability, is a Modi 3.0. But how diminished is the strength of the Modi 3.0? Well, right now, with the numbers stacking up, not as strong as he would have hoped to be. A quick break to stay with us. We're back with the latest.
सिग्नेचर जो सबकी सोच से ऊपर जाए. Signature, a premium product from Dilbag.
Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex.
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से.
It's colorful. It's powerful.
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए. सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. I'm too busy, baby, making plans on how to get me one of them manly men. All I want is a touch of love.
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
Do what matters. If you can bring change, change what matters. If you can build a legacy, build what matters. Do what matters.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ.
सुप्रिया जी, इंडिया गठबंधन की बात की जाए तो क्या आप जो एनडीए पार्टनर्स हैं, टीडीपी है, नीतीश कुमार है, क्या उनसे संपर्क करेंगे? ऐसा कुछ बातचीत हो रही है?
वो मेरा शीर्ष नेतृत्व डिसाइड करेगा. मुझे लगता है जनता ने एक बहुत बड़ा मैंडेट दिया है बीजेपी को हराकर, इंडिया गठबंधन के साथ लामबंद होकर हम एक साथ मजबूती से चुनाव लड़े. जो इतनी वेल ऑयल्ड मशीनरी और फलाना ढिमकाना कहा जाता था, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. तो मेरा अपना मानना है कि ये चुनाव मुद्दों पर हुआ है, मुद्दों की राजनीति पर हुआ है.
समाजवादी पार्टी, लखनऊ में समाजवादी पार्टी बीजेपी और एसपी के कार्यकर्ताओं का झगड़ा हुआ. अब बंगाल में जिस दिन से उत्साह हो रहा है, टीएमसी के लोग काफी सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं.
मुझे नहीं लगता कहीं पर भी झगड़ा होना चाहिए. मेरा लीडर तो मोहब्बत वाला लीडर है. वो नफरत के बाजार में मोहब्बत की बात करते हैं. हम लोग तो उनके सानिध्य में रह के काम करते हैं. मुझे नहीं लगता. मुझे लगता है कि वी शुड बी वेरी वेरी ग्रेशियस इन आवर विक्ट्री एज दे शुड बी इन देयर डिफीट.
काउंटिंग खत्म होने दीजिए. काउंटिंग खत्म होने दीजिए. अभी बाकी राउंड पड़े हैं, ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद बात करेंगे.
जिस तरह से आपकी वोट की बढ़त हो रही है, आप किसी श्रेय देंगे?
मैं यहाँ की जनता और गांधी परिवार को.
अभी तो नतीजे आए नहीं है, रुझान आ रहे हैं, आपने अभी से लड्डू बांटने शुरू कर.
देखिए, हम नहीं कह रहे, ये तो जमाना कह रहा है कि 400 पार होगा. दीवारों पर लिखा है और आपके एग्जिट पोल ने भी तो कहा है, देश भर के एग्जिट पोल ने कहा है और जनता ने भी ये कहा है. इस देश में मोदी के प्रति जबरदस्त आकर्षण है. मोदी की सुनामी है. मोदी जी फिर से प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे और 400 पार हमारी सीट आएंगी.
पूरी उम्मीदें हैं, पूरा भरोसा है. अपनी मेहनत पर, जनता की जो सपोर्ट मिला, समर्थन मिला, उस पर, और भारत के भविष्य पर पूरा उम्मीद.
सिग्नेचर जो सबकी सोच से ऊपर जाए. Signature, a premium product from Dilbag.
Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex.
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से.
It's colorful. It's powerful.
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए. सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. I'm too busy, baby, making plans on how to get me one of them manly men. All I want is a touch of love.
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
घर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
Do what matters. If you can bring change, change what matters. If you can build a legacy, build what matters. Do what matters.
सुप्रीम के 9,000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ.
वक्त हमारे साथ भाजपा से प्रत्याशी रवि किशन शुक्ला है. मतगणना का दिन है, मतगणना स्थल पर स्वयं पहुंचे, क्या कहना चाहेंगे सांसद?
ऐतिहासिक विश्व के सबसे बड़े नेता को देश चुनने जा रहा है. गोरखपुर में मोदी योगी जी का राम राज्य बरकरार रहेगा. सनातनी विचारधारा चलती रहेगी. राम राज्य इसी तरह गरीबों के कल्याण होता रहेगा राम राज्य में. और $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनने जा रहा है भारत. एक ऐतिहासिक रूप धारण करेगा. विराट भारत होगा, विशाल भारत होगा, स्वर्णमय भारत होगा, सोने की चिड़िया.
मतगणना पर आते हैं, आज मतगणना का दिन है, क्या लगता है कितनी बढ़त बढ़ाएगी?
ऐतिहासिक होगी.
एनडीए की बात करेगा, कितनी बढ़त?
ऐतिहासिक होगा. 400 पार.
नहीं, सर्वे तो कुछ और ही कह रहा है.
सर्वे जो भी कह रहा है, अभी कुछ ही आज बचल कितना देर हुआ, 6-7 घंटा में कुल कहानी सामने आ जाएगी.
राहुल गांधी तो कह रहे 295 आ रही है.
अभी लोग देखो थोड़ा असर होता है.
किस चीज का असर?
दर्द होता है.
किस चीज का दर्द होता है?
सब दर्दीले लोग हैं.
तो ये थे भाजपा से सांसद प्रत्याशी रवि किशन शुक्ला, जो मतगणना को लेकर बहुत ही उत्साहित हैं. वो अपने ही नहीं, पूरे देश की बात कर रहे हैं कि वो 400 सीटें एनडीए आ रही है.
जिस तरह वोटिंग की पैटर्न रही और जिस तरह कुछ कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसीज़ में कम, कुछ में ज़्यादा, मुझे पहले जिस दिन पोलिंग हुई उस दिन से मालूम था कि काउंटिंग जो है उसका ट्रेंड एक तरफ से नहीं होगा. ये किसी का लीड, किसी का ट्रेल, लेकिन एंड में रिजल्ट क्लियर हो जाएगा.
काउंटिंग बहुत ही सुचारू रूप से चल रही है. कहीं एक आध मशीन जो खराब है वो अधिकारियों को बता दिया है, प्रशासन को. बहुत तरतीब से तमाम चीजों को देख रहे हैं.
प्रेजेंटेड बाय आपका जॉय, भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई बाइक. को प्रेजेंटेड बाय ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा. ड्रिवन बाय जेके टायर, देश का टायर. पावर्ड बाय MP Birla Cement Perfect Plus, Concrete Special. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Co-powered by Panasonic AC for smart homes. Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbar. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, जीवन भर का साथ. अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी. पेप्स, the dream makers.
Welcome back. Sources telling India Today, Prime Minister will come to the BJP headquarters around 7 p.m. today evening. Remember, the BJP likely to be called and Prime Minister Modi likely to be called to form a new government. BJP single largest party, NDA crucially above 293. The BJP is planning a victory bash. But the question is, will this be the kind of victory bash they had hoped for? Okay, Sharad Pawar is doing a press conference. Let's listen in.
ओके रेडी है सगळे ठीक आहे सर रेडी
साडी खराब करायला सांगा साडी इज नो मोर इम्पॉर्टंट
कसे कॉफी हो सर मुख्यतः महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेचे आभार आणि या निवडणुकीच्यासाठी राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या सर्व स्तराच्या कार्यकर्त्यांनी जे अतिशय कष्ट घेतले त्याच्याबद्दल संघटनेच्या वतीनं आम्ही कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करतो. महाराष्ट्रात
as an organization
प्रकारच्या परिवर्तनाची प्रक्रिया सुरू झाली. जो काही निवडणुकीचा निकाल आहे तुमच्या हातामध्ये माझं स्टेटमेंट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सविस्तर लिहिलं आहे की हा निकाल इथं परिवर्तनाला पोषक अशा प्रकारचा आहे.
थोडं पुढे त्यांना ऐकूच नाही थोडे पुढे गेला.
This is a very positive result.
थोडं पुढे घ्या हां थोडंसं
माईक पण ह्याच्या
स्पीकरवाला नाही.
आणि आम्हाला लोकांचा प्रयत्न हा राहणार आहे की देशाच्या लोकसभेची निवडणूक झाली सुदैवानं देश पातळीवरचं चित्रसुद्धा अतिशय आशादायक आहे. विशेषतः उत्तर प्रदेशमध्ये सर्वसाधारणपणानं तुम्हाला लोकांचं आणि आमच्या काही सहकार्यांचं असेसमेंट जे होतं त्यापेक्षा वेगळा निकाल उत्तर प्रदेशच्या जनतेनं दिलेला आहे. या निकालाचं आणखीन एक वैशिष्ट्य असं आहे की यापूर्वी भाजपला उत्तर प्रदेश आणि या भागामध्ये जे यश मिळायचं ते त्याचं मार्जिन हे फार मोठं असायचं. आता त्यांना काही ज्या जागा मिळाल्यात त्या मर्यादित अशा प्रकारच्या मार्जिन मिळाल्यात.
The Uttar Pradesh verdict clearly shows how things have changed. Even the margins have come down where the BJP has won.
आणि हिंदी बेल्टमध्ये जे आमचे सहकारी काम करतात त्यांनी आम्ही सगळ्यांनी मिळून अधिक लक्ष दिलं तर आज उत्तरेकडचा जो चेहरा आहे तो बदलायला एक अनुकूल अशा प्रकारचं चित्र दिसतंय.
Our allies have come together and therefore have managed to have an impact in the Hindi heartland.
निकाल झाल्याच्या नंतर मी काही सहकार्यांशी चर्चा केली. विशेषतः काँग्रेस पक्षाचे अध्यक्ष खरगे, मार्क्सवादी कम्युनिस्ट पार्टीचे
After the results, I have spoken to Mr. Kharge, Mr. Yechuri.
येचुरी आणि अन्य. तर त्याच्यामध्ये कदाचित अजून नक्की नाही पण उद्याच्यालाच दिल्लीमध्ये बैठक होण्याची शक्यता आहे. आणि त्याचा संदेश आज संध्याकाळपर्यंत मला आणि आमच्या इतर सहकार्यांना मिळेल ते असेल
We will hold a meeting tomorrow.
आणि तातडीने जाऊ आणि एकंदर पुढचे धोरण पुढची नीती ही सामूहिकपणानं चर्चा करून ठरवू एवढंच या ठिकाणी मला सांगायचं.
At this moment, I can only tell you we will explore the national scenario and see what possibilities exist.
राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षानं जयंत पाटलांच्या नेतृत्वाखाली आम्ही जागा मर्यादित लढवल्या. सगळ्या मिळून आम्ही 10 जागा लढवल्या. पण त्याच्यामध्ये असं दिसतंय की 7 जागेवर
Sharad Pawar expressing some hope that this election has changed the direction of national politics, specifically referring to what's happened in Uttar Pradesh, and also, of course, congratulating his allies in Maharashtra. Of course, Sharad Pawar saying that he's spoken to Mallikarjun Kharge, Sitaram Yechuri. No such information as we've been getting earlier, that he's also in touch with Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. But clearly saying that the national scenario, he believes, has changed and a message has come out, particularly in the Hindi heartland. What role will Mr. Pawar and others play is uncertain. But there remains a 62-seat gap, remember, between the NDA and
But it's very clear, N square will hold the key. Naveen and Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. You know, if we walk across to the election intelligence dashboard and give you the latest numbers, it's very clear that the BJP is unlikely to be able to get close to that 272 mark which they were coveting so much, and therefore this BJP government will have to depend on Naveen Patnaik and on Chandrababu Naidu and on Nitish Kumar. If I show you the routes to power, the NDA at this time has BJP at 240, TDP at 16, Janata Dal United at 15. So 31, it still doesn't take the BJP past the 273 mark. They will need the likes of Lok Janshakti. They'll need the likes of the Eknath Shinde Sena. Without that, they aren't being able to hit the 272 mark. The Congress, on the other hand, has 98 seats. The Samajwadi Party has 37. The Trinamool has 31. In the last few hours, the nature of Indian politics has changed very substantially. Rajat Sethi, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, everybody will have to get used to being far more accommodative with their allies, accommodative with competing political interests than they've been so far.
I think, Rahul, the first thing is that sole reliance on TDP and JDU is not going to augur well for the stability of the NDA government, NDA 3.0. Therefore, I think they will have to make outreaches to other potential alliance partners as well. BJP did commit a few mistakes in the alliance formation. One is clear-cut Tamil Nadu. I'm looking at the alliance numbers and vote shares individually. BJP hasn't crossed, or it has barely crossed 10%, and ADMK is at 20%. So had that alliance been sort of stitched together properly, Tamil Nadu scenario would have been very, very different. That was not done. Similarly, in Maharashtra, too much experimentation.
For a moment, I've got Mamta Banerjee on the line, one of the big heroes of this victory in West Bengal is Mamta Banerjee. She's joining us now very briefly. Didi, you've scripted history in West Bengal. The BJP was hoping to do well. You've turned the tables in West Bengal. What do you make of this? Congratulations, Didi.
I will bring the press 5:30, not now, because counting is still going on. So, so many press asked me, so now I am not giving any comments. Please wait up to 5:30.
You must be very happy with the results in the way they've come.
I not only speak for Bengal, I am congratulating all my supporting parties, India supporting parties, who have done very well. Somebody may do good, somebody may do bad, but we are grateful to our people. The people is the real master of this election. It is because of sometimes, who playing the mysterious things. I will tell you 5:30.
You were under a lot of pressure. You must be very relieved with the numbers. Were you expecting this?
5:30, not before that.
We wish you all the best. Mamta Banerjee, one of the big victors in this battle. Take a look at West Bengal. Trinamool at 31, 9 up from the last time. BJP at 10, 8 down from the last time. This is completely opposite to what the BJP was expecting in West Bengal. Mamta Banerjee there speaking exclusively to India Today television with her first reaction on that big victory in West Bengal. One of the key agenda setters of the 2024 elections. Mamta Banerjee speaking exclusively exclusively to India Today.
I think the three states, Rahul, where the BJP has not done as well as expected, there's a common trail to it. Candidate selection, both in UP and West Bengal, there were question marks, organizational question marks, particularly in UP, a state that they've otherwise dominated. And I think, and eventually they relied on the Modi magic. The Modi magic has shown its limits today. You can't lift a party all the time expecting the Prime Minister and his sort of connect, which he undoubtedly has, to be able to lift your party time and again. You choose the wrong candidates, you pay a price in UP, in Bengal, and in Maharashtra, the kind of politics of utter cynicism. Let's break the party. Rajat and I were discussing, the BJP has struggled to hold this alliance where you've tied up with an Ajit Pawar, whom you called corrupt and you made all kinds of allegations with. Eknath Shinde, at the end of the day, is not the number one neta really across the Shiv Sena as far as its cadres are concerned. Right. What it would seem, therefore, is the cadres have chosen of the Shiv Sena, preferred to go with an Uddhav Thackeray. The NCP cadres have had sympathy for Sharad Pawar and their supporters. And you've got the Congress surprisingly making a bit of a comeback, because the BJP also in Maharashtra has suffered a bit of a credibility hit. You can't take voters for granted all the time.
So I think, Rajdeep, this is what has happened. There was crisis of credibility on the other side, on the BJP side this time. For a fairly long time, I've said 2019 was the peak moment when they were their strongest. Ever since that, they have consistently declined. And also when Fadnavis wasn't elevated as a chief minister, he had lesser energy and the power to actually build that coalition that Sharad Pawar on the other side was able to do that. So he was in the number 2 position. He was reluctant for a fairly long time, but nonetheless, they were able to get Ajit Pawar. But look at Ajit Pawar's party's body politique. That is very, very different. Ajit Pawar, you brought in Nawab Malik alongside Ajit Pawar, and the BJP's own support base were up in arms that why did you get Nawab Malik of all people? These contradictions were far too many to be ignored.
Absolutely. And there you've got a big news coming in from Hassan. Prajwal Revanna is now trailing by an even bigger margin. Shreyas Patel, whose grandfather defeated Deva Gowda, is defeating the grandson of Deva Gowda, Prajwal Revanna, who's behind bars. So, you've got a fascinating election. There was everyone who thought that Prajwal Revanna might still scrape through, relying on his grandfather's image. Sorry, Prajwal Revanna is losing at the moment in the seat of Hassan in Karnataka. So Karnataka, where it's 18-10, so that's a growth of 9 seats for the Congress in Karnataka. NDA 18. NDA sweeping basically northern Karnataka and the Malnad region. Udupi, Chikmagalur, Shimoga, Uttar Kannada, Dharwad. Those are the seats. Belgaum, Bagalkot, Bijapur. But it is actually, interestingly, Hyderabad, Karnataka, where Mallikarjun Kharge comes from, where the Congress is doing well. Bellary, Koppal, Raichur, those are the seats. Gulbarga, which is his home seat. Bidar, that's where they're doing well. Then you've got Chikkodi at the corner, and Chamarajnagar is the only seat from old Mysore state in southern Karnataka which is being won by the Congress. All the others, the JDS alliance has worked. On the ground, there has been a transfer of the Vocaliga vote. Otherwise, in Bengaluru rural, for example, DK Suresh would not lose. So it's a very interesting picture that we are getting, contrasting picture from across the country at the moment. Preeti, what you want any farmaish? Let me do. Aapki farmaish.
This is being reloaded just.
Acha, reloaded. Sorry. What is there a? I'm sure that you're looking at certain states very carefully.
I'm looking at the.
Let's look at your home state of Haryana
I'm
again.
just looking at that now. It's
6-4
in favor, 1,000 each now. BJP is ahead in Gurgaon, Sonipat, and
ahead now in Gurgaon. What are the margins though? Very narrow.
1,000 Sonipat, less than 5,000. 1,000 Kurukshetra, less than 5,000 Sonipat, and less than 10,000 Gurgaon.
So you've got Sirsa, which the Congress is leading. Hisar, the Congress is leading. Rohtak, the Congress is leading, and Ambala. 3 of them are SC reserve seats where the Congress is leading. Kurukshetra, Karnal, you mentioned at the moment Sonipat, Gurgaon, and Bhiwani are the ones where the BJP leading, all with relatively small margins.
All less than 5,000, other than one seat.
Is this going to transform, you believe, into the Vidhan Sabha also, where you'll have a neck-and-neck fight in your view 4 months from now?
Well, 100%. That's what, and in a way, I would think the Congress, or at least the Huddas, not the Congress so much, would want it to be limited to this, because they would want the anti-incumbency to continue at least over the next 3 months when the state goes into a full-fledged state election. And what they would be very glad, Rajdeep, and like we pointed out, is to get the caste combinations right. They've been able to do something here which they've tried for decades in the state of Haryana, which is to get the Dalits en masse, not one part of the Dalit community, to vote for them. Because usually the Dalits have not gone with, one part of the Dalits has, the Jat.
Okay,
all right, Kishori Lal Sharma. Lal Sharma speaking.
Kishori Lal ji.
Request to get him live. He's with us. Kishori Lal ji is one of the big, giant winners. Can we go across to him and can we speak to him?
Kishori Lal ji, नमस्कार. राजदीप सरदेसाई बोल रहा हूँ.
नमस्कार.
राजदीप सरदेसाई बोल रहा हूँ. हमने पहला आपका इंटरव्यू किया था, तब आपने कहा था चमत्कार हो सकता है. मैं कुछ अभी नहीं कहूँगा, आज कह दीजिए क्या हुआ. स्माइल दीजिए.
अच्छा हुआ. यहाँ पे जो गांधी परिवार का विश्वास था मेरे ऊपर, मैंने उसको पूरा किया और गांधी परिवार का बड़ा साथ रहा और यहाँ की जनता का साथ रहा, गठबंधन के लोगों का साथ रहा. ये सब जीत जो हुई है सबको मिलाते हुए.
अरे कुछ तो किया होगा. क्या था? आपने बड़ा लो प्रोफाइल कैंपेन शुरुआत में किया था. प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा ने तो बहुत मशक्कत की आपके लिए, लेकिन आपकी क्या सीक्रेट क्या था? स्मृति ईरानी को हराने की आपकी क्या, कौन सा सीक्रेट था, फॉर्मूला?
नहीं, कोई सीक्रेट नहीं था. यहाँ की जनता और गांधी परिवार की ताकत ने मेरे को जिताया.
किशोरी लाल शर्मा जी, अब थोड़ा तो श्रेय ले लीजिए, क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम भी बोला था कि ये चुनाव गांधीज का है. अभी भी सिर्फ श्रेय गांधीज को दे रहे हैं. बूथ जानते हैं आप अमेठी और रायबरेली का.
नहीं, वो मैं जानता हूँ, लेकिन ये श्रेय हमेशा गांधी परिवार का ही रहेगा. ये उनकी धरती है, तो मतलब ये राजीव जी की धरती है, तो ये कभी किशोरी लाल शर्मा की धरती नहीं हो सकती.
जायंट स्लेयर कहलाएंगे किशोरी लाल जी अभी से.
अब वो तो आप लोग जो भी कर दें.
अरे आप तो आपकी एक देखिए किशोरी लाल जी, अब दुनिया आपको देख रही है. पहले अब लोग कह रहे कौन है किशोरी लाल. क्या कहें जब कोई मुझे पूछेगा कौन है किशोरी लाल जायंट किलर, क्या बताएं?
राजीव जी, आप 35 साल से तो मेरे को जानते हैं
जी. आप
अमेठी में जब आते थे, मैं तो तब से जानता हूँ आप, और हम लोग इकट्ठे बात करते थे. पहला इंटरव्यू मैंने प्रियंका जी का आपसे कराया था, याद है आपको?
बिल्कुल.
मुंशीगंज
बिल्कुल 99 में. बहुत समय हो गया, मैं बूढ़ा हो गया हूँ.
हाँ, नहीं, मैं भी बूढ़ा हो गया हूँ.
लेकिन कुछ तो होगा. नहीं, आज देखिए मैंने सुना है कि किशोरी लाल जी किसी के बर्थडे पार्टी हो या किसी के घर में मातम हो, आप हर एक के घर जाते हैं. क्या ये आपको लगता है एक फैक्टर था इस बार, या स्मृति ईरानी के खिलाफ वोट था?
किसी की गमी और खुशी में तो जाना हर पॉलिटिशियन का बनता है, उनको जाना ही चाहिए, क्योंकि छोटा कार्यकर्ता मान महसूस करता है अगर कोई एमपी या एमएलए उनके यहाँ आता है, तो ये तो करना चाहिए सबको. देखो, मेन दूसरी बात है कि अमेठी में हम्बलनेस चलेगी, जब भी चलेगी. एरोगेंसी अमेठी में कभी चली नहीं, क्योंकि राजीव जी जब रहते थे वो मतदाता का सम्मान करते थे, मतदाता को धिक्कारते नहीं थे.
पर किशोरी लाल जी, जो
बड़ा कारण था.
17 सीट जो कांग्रेस लड़ रही है, उसमें से 7 आप जीत रहे हो, या कम से कम लीड में तो हो. कभी सोचा था ये होगा?
नहीं, इस बार गठबंधन का हमको लगता था कि अच्छा परफॉर्म करेगा गठबंधन हमारा, और किया. सपा के लोगों ने भी बढ़ चढ़ के मदद किया और कांग्रेस के लोगों ने भी उनकी मदद किया. एक ट्रू में महागठबंधन जो था इस बार वर्क किया.
यूपी के लड़के काम कर गए इस बार यूपी में.
मेरे तो बॉस हैं राहुल जी, तो मैं उनको लड़का तो नहीं कभी कह सकता हूँ.
अच्छा, मैं आपको कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ. प्रियंका गांधी कह रही है, मैं देख रही हूँ आपका चैनल, किशोरी लाल को मेरी बधाई. आप क्या कहेंगे प्रियंका गांधी को?
All credit goes to her. And राहुल जी also.
अरे आप तो थोड़ा क्रेडिट लीजिए. यही तो मुसीबत है कांग्रेस वालों की. आप लोग जब कुछ करते हैं तो भी कहते.
नहीं, मैं देखो, मैं दूसरे कांग्रेसियों की तरह नहीं हूँ. अगर कुछ गलत होगा तो मैं डिस्क्रेडिट लूंगा, लेकिन क्रेडिट हमेशा मेरे लीडर को जाए.
चलिए, और आप अमेठी के जनता के साथ रहेंगे ये विश्वास के साथ. और कैसे आज कोई सेलिब्रेशन? आप तो हमें चाय पिलाते हैं, कुछ और आज पिलाएंगे? क्या है आज सेलिब्रेशन? क्या है
आप बता दीजिए, हम दिल्ली में आपको विद फैमिली डिनर करा देंगे.
विद फैमिली डिनर. चलिए, विद फैमिली क्या डिनर? सर, आप जानते हैं मैं नॉन वेजिटेरियन हूँ.
नहीं, मैं भी नॉन वेजिटेरियन हूँ.
चलो, तो फिर बटर चिकन करते हैं, वो हैव मोर करके एक होटल ये है.
अच्छा, ओके, लेट इट बी. राजदीप, really you're making your dinner plans already. Just
चले, somebody is offering me dinner. Why will I say no?
So Rajdeep's friends are winning, so he's saying, okay, somebody's going to give me dinner now.
With your entire family.
Okay, thank you very much, Kishori Lalji. I wish you very well. I'll tell you why. Because, I met this Kishori Lalji first time in the early 90s. I had come from Mumbai. I was a journalist in Delhi, finding my way around. I went to Amethi. There was a Sonia Gandhi rally, her first rally, where she took on, in a way, Narasimha Rao's government. And Kishori Lal helped me understand what was happening around me. And he's been very kind. Everybody knows him. Kisi ke ghar mein, if somebody passes away in someone's house, he goes there. Someone has a birthday party, kisi ke ghar mein shadi. So it's actually the classic old-style politician staying in the background, but connected to people.
It's a very big message for the formidable
And Smriti was Smriti had did a lot of work in Amethi, make no mistake. But I think somewhere down the line, maybe some karyakartas or, there's a lot of internal politics that's gone on in Uttar Pradesh this time. And I think that's damaged the BJP.
That's the underlying
local
statement.
MLAs.
Sorry?
This should be one headline statement that, internal politics of BJP has actually...
No, the local MLAs especially, the local sitting MLAs of the BJP didn't quite come together to assist Smriti Irani. And this was something which was right out in the open.
And Smriti had her own group, Rajesh Masala, her own team which had been
Manoj Pandey came in much later in the day.
I think there was a lot of internal but it's, every election throws up one giant killer. There are many more.
Here, it was a vote, to be honest. When you spoke to the people, they were very clear that they wanted to vote for the Gandhis this time. You could make that out.
No, but from being giant killer to being slayed, there's a whole journey over there.
I'm
you live to fight another election.
I'm sure Smriti will bounce back. She's a very strong politician. I'm sure she'll bounce back. But all our correspondents are there. Paulomi Shah is live from the BJP headquarters. Rahul Gautam is live from the Congress headquarters. Who wants to go first? Preeti, where do you want to go?
Let's go to the AICC headquarters first. We've been to Paulomi a short while back. So the celebrations clearly in the BJP or at the BJP headquarters. It is going to be a Modi Sarkar, kid you not. Maybe slightly diminished in strength. But Rahul, the Shamiana, the Chola Bhatura, the Laddus haven't gone to waste at the Congress headquarters.
Absolutely, Preeti, and as we know that Congress party and particularly opposition alliance is doing pretty well, this can also be reflected on the faces of Congress workers who are coming here in large numbers from various parts of the national capital. And as the tally is going, up, we've been informed that more and more senior leaders are also coming in. You can see flags here. The mood is absolutely upbeat, although we can't really hear the sound of dhol at this point of time because there's a kind of lull or silence here because of the fact that BJP or the NDA is close to 300. So there are many are apprehending that it might be again a BJP government, but certainly a performance by the India Bloc, and therefore we've been informed that around 4 or 4:30 or possibly or 5 o'clock, Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi, they both are likely to come here. They're going to speak with the media person, going to greet and congratulate workers here, and this is why the crowd here is only surging with each passing minute. The Congress has actually sacrificed a lot, as far as this Lok Sabha is concerned. They sacrificed seats in key states like Maharashtra, Bihar, just for the sake to keep this alliance going. And since numbers are coming, for example, in Uttar Pradesh, in Rajasthan, obviously the Congress leadership is quite happy. We've been informed that now the back channel, talks are underway. They are trying to reach out to new allies, possibly trying to, evaluate the current prevailing political scenario and trying to explore possibility that whether they can do some big khela or not at this point of time. But as far as AICC headquarters is concerned, the crowd is only surging. Senior leaders are coming in here. They are taking feedback from various respective states. We've been informed that there are several key top leaders are sitting in a room. They are
Rahul, you're right. This is an unusual moment for a Congress cadre. They've been waiting for a day like this for a decade now, Rajdeep. You've usually not seen the kind of energy that you see where at the AICC headquarters it's always at the back of an election where the Congress has been decimated. This is unusual for the Congress.
Somebody's given me a good one line. People have voted for the opposition for an opposition they wanted. Not because you finally got an opposition of substance after 10 years. I think that's one of the big messages. So people have voted. They still want Mr. Modi, possibly as Prime Minister, but they also want a strong opposition.
Rahul Gautam has some leader with him.
I think he had Mr. Srinivas.
Okay.
But let's go to, go ahead very quickly. He was already with us on air a short while ago.
Quickly.
Srinivas, it seems that you're getting a lot of votes from youngsters as well, and you are increasing your seats mainly in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. What do you think possibly have worked in your favor?
देखिए किस तरीके से बीजेपी ने दे गिवन ह्यूज promises, they cannot fulfill single promise. You can see last 10 years what all they said for a youth of India. They told every year giving 2 crore job, इनका skill India, sitting India, standing India, sleeping India. कोई वर्कआउट नहीं हुआ. नरेंद्र मोदी जी गए 150 कंट्री पे, वो बोले मैं वहाँ से घूम के इन्वेस्टर्स को लाया. ये एक इन्वेस्टर्स आया नहीं है. तो युवा बहुत दिन से पिछले 10 साल इन लोग ने जो जोला है, खासतौर पे बेरोजगार युवा. So you cannot imagine.
Uddhav ji, I am here on live show. I wanted to first congratulate you.
Yes, thank you. लेकिन राजदीप जी मैं शाम को बात करता हूँ आपसे. थोड़ा रिजल्ट पूरा.
But are you happy? Are you satisfied so far?
पूरा रिजल्ट आने दो, मैं बात करूँगा, जरूर बात करूँगा.
Okay, thank you so much.
आधी भी बात मैं नहीं करूँगा, पूरी होने दो, फिर पूरे विस्तार से बात करूँगा आपसे.
Okay, thank you so much. Uddhav Thackeray is saying that he will speak to us in Vistar when the results are fully out.
But he's sounding confident.
But he's sounding happy. I mean, the very fact is, you know, in the last 1 week, particularly after the exit poll, when I tried him, apply, no reply. Suddenly, that's how politicians are. They've suddenly woken up to seeing that, you know, you can see their voices. I think that's what I said. I think what you will see, the opposition has got a voice. They haven't got the numbers they needed to form a government. Ironically, the Sidhu Moosewala song is with the NDA at the moment. 295.
That would be ironical.
And with the anarchy you pointed out, Rahul, in the morning, with all that anarchy.
This is how it ends. Moosewala 295. You know, I read up the lyrics, very anarchist those lyrics, but if that's how it ends up, this massive irony over there. We'll slip into a quick break.
Seriously.
We'll have more for you when we come back on the other side. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
सिग्नेचर जो एक नया स्टाइल बनाए. सिग्नेचर, a premium product from Dilbag.
Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex. इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से.
It's colorful. It's powerful.
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए. सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love. Cosa bonita, jugada divertido, sonido inmersivo, conectados.
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
Do what matters. If you can bring change, change what matters. If you can build a legacy, build what matters. Do what matters.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ.
I don't expect anything without hard work. We have worked hard and people confidence. I really feel very happy that people will help us and the hard work we have put in and the people believe and the truth of the confidence the people have on us, particularly our Honorable Prime Minister and as a candidate on me, even though I had only short time to campaign, but I actually very happy. Whatever may be the result, I accept. I'm always an optimistic person.
India Alliance has been a conglomeration of corrupt, caste-based communal entities and forces which have for almost 7 decades enjoyed a stranglehold on the country's politics. I think this election marks an irreversible trend in India's politics, where India has firmly and irreversibly chosen development and performance-based politics, delivery-based politics.
सिग्नेचर जो एक नया स्टाइल बनाए. सिग्नेचर, a premium product from दिलबाग.
Dulux Weather Shield Power Flex.
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से.
It's colorful. It's powerful.
आपने कभी सोचा है कि हम बीमारी से कम उसके पकड़े जाने से ज्यादा डरते हैं? इस डर से आप बिल्कुल मत डरिए. सही समय पर जांच हो, साथ ही आपके और आपके डॉक्टर की बन जाए टीम, तो बीमारी जो है वो करेगी जाने की तैयारी. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, जिनको यही ख्याल रहता है कि आप अपना ख्याल रखें. मैनकाइंड फार्मा, सर्विंग लाइफ.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love. Cosa bonita, who got a fever? Sonido inmersivo, conectados.
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
Do what matters. If you can bring change, change what matters. If you can build a legacy, build what matters. Do what matters.
सुप्रीम के 9,000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ.
निष्पक्ष चुनाव हुए हैं. कांग्रेस पार्टी के पक्ष में भी नतीजे आ रहे हैं, लेकिन वो सच्चाई को स्वीकार करने को तैयार नहीं है. दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण.
दिग्विजय सिंह कह दिया कि सवाल उठाते हुए,
तो फिर इतनी सीटें जो इंडिया गठबंधन की है वो कहाँ से आ रही हैं?
अभी गिनती चल रही है और जो शुरुआती रुझान जो सामने आए हैं,
मैं समझता हूं जो हमारे को जो आशाएं थी उन आशाओं के अनुरूप ये शुरुआती रुझान दिखाई दे रहे हैं हमारे पूरे प्रदेश में। मैं सभी हरियाणा वासियों का, अपने रोहतक लोकसभा क्षेत्र वासियों का बहुत बहुत कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद करता हूं, दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं। ऐसा लगता है कि लोगों ने जितना आशीर्वाद दिया है वो उम्मीद से भी ज़्यादा आशीर्वाद लोग दे रहे हैं। बाकी अब ये शुरुआत के रुझान हैं, जब पूरी गिनती हो जाएगी उसके बाद ही मैं कोई और टिप्पणी आपको करूँगा।
देखिए, पूरे देश में 542 जगह कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसीज हैं जो काउंटिंग सब जगह में शुरू हो चुकी है। हम लोग आज यहाँ आपको पहली बार अपने कंट्रोल रूम का एक्सेस दे रहे हैं। हमारी सारी टीम्स यहाँ बैठ
All right, warm welcome. You're watching India Today and the numbers are in front of you. 294 for the NDA, 232 for India. Others stand at 17. Let's quickly cut across to our reporters on ground. Joining me is Polomi Saha. Definite now that it is going to be Modi 3.0, maybe not as strong as he would have imagined his Sarkar to be. But Polomi, what does it look like? Disappointment in the cadre there. 7 o'clock, Prime Minister supposed to come to the BJP headquarters.
That's right. Of course, we're waiting on official confirmation of that. The timing of it could be different as well, because obviously the results are still not sealed across all constituencies at the moment. So the BJP is still hopeful of, scoring a respectable number for the NDA in comparison, of course, to what they had set out as their own target for the party and for the NDA. Here we are at the BJP party headquarters. Party Karyakartas, of course, have started gathering. As you can see behind me, Ashokji, my camera person, will show you the pictures, of course, waving the BJP flag and, of course, raising Jai Shri Ram chants as well. But Preeti, I've been here on several occasions during elections where, of course, the trends clearly show that the BJP is leading. And by this time in the afternoon, this very premise is packed to the brim. So at the moment, of course, it's a little different picture. Possibly when word gets out that the Prime Minister is definitely coming at a certain time, more Karyakartas will come in over here. But yes, this is a time when they start coming in. But I do see that the numbers are not as many as we've seen on previous occasions.
Polomi,
so
that's the strange part, because you and Rahul Gautam, who's at the Congress headquarters, are feeling exactly the same situation, which is that you've never felt. It's surreal what's going on at the headquarters. Polomi says by this time it's swarming with cadre, while Rahul Gautam, who's seen after the counting comes down to 3 p.m. on any election, he sees the crowds completely thin. Okay, Rahul's not with us, but we have other reporters. Let's cut across to Samarth, who's joining us from Lucknow. Samarth, the news not good at all where Uttar Pradesh is concerned.
Well, exactly, Preeti. I'm present at the Samajwadi Party office, and you can expect that you were here in UP as well. The sentiment was there. There was undercurrent for the opposition, be it Samajwadi Party or the Congress Party, and you can expect that Samajwadi Party has made a real damage to the Saffron Party, at least in the state of Uttar Pradesh, where BJP was expecting something 70 plus rounds right from here, but they have come down to 30s, with India Alliance crossing the 40 plus mark, and Samajwadi Party, despite being a state party, crossing around 35 mark. If it goes in the same direction, then we can expect by evening SP would be leading in this particular state above the BJP. So that's very crucial, and also much credit should be given to Akhilesh Yadav, the way he selected the candidates, the way he stationed the candidates forward, and he fielded the candidates from across, taking not just MY factor, but also that PDA theory which he gave in the form of Dalits, in the form of OBCs, and especially the non-Yadav OBCs seems to have played the part. And also the BSP vote bank, which was shifted to the BJP in the 2022
Samarth, I'm going to stop you for a moment. I'm going to stop you for a moment. While Akhilesh Yadav is one of the heroes undoubtedly of the day for the opposition, there are several heroes they have. The BJP also has its fair share of heroes. I'm joined, Kharge and Rahul Gandhi, meanwhile, to hold a briefing at 5:30 p.m. today. We are told the Prime Minister will be at the BJP headquarters at 7 p.m. But we are joined at the moment by Pradeep Gupta of Axis My India. Pradeep, it hasn't been a great day for the pollsters because clearly the pollsters got this election badly wrong. What went wrong?
Rajdeep, let me explain particularly our Access My India report card to you and to everybody who is watching this telecast. We predicted 360 to 401 for NDA, meaning NDA is likely to form the government, and tally at this point of time is 295, meaning we are behind our predicted number of our lower range by about 66 seats. And I think as I deep down into my study, what went wrong with our study, and I found that there are three big states, which is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and West Bengal. These are the three biggest states. And in Uttar Pradesh,